Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. We are live right now. Loads of games to bring you. 6 3 o'clock kickoffs, and we've got a packed sofa.
Wow.
What a duo to my right, by the way. 2 players that played for West Ham, 2 current West Ham coaches, 2 former England internationals. It is Paul Konchesky, Carlton Cole. Boys. Carlton, this is your debut on the show, isn't it?
Yeah, it is my debut.
What's taking you so long?
I don't know. I've been seeing the lads coming on here. I think, let me have a little go.
Love that.
You know what I mean? So it's the right timing.
Right timing. And you are watching one of your former clubs, of course, West Ham against Brighton. Big game, that, isn't it, for West Ham?
Yeah, massive game today. Obviously, no one was expecting anything from the Liverpool game midweek. But this game is definitely one that we fancy ourselves at. And hopefully we get some points on the board because it's much needed at the moment. Yeah,
much needed. Massive game for West Ham. Needed 3 points. And to your right, another former West Ham player, Paul Konchesky. Paul, great to have you back on. You're watching Liverpool today. Slightly more positive for Liverpool, isn't it? I mean, even if they lose this, it's done and dusted, isn't it, the league for you?
You like to think so. They weren't all guns blazing against West Ham, but they looked like they was cruising. They could have stepped up another gear. But being at Anfield today with the home support and the role they're on, I'd like to think they can go and take 3 points against a much good side in Southampton.
Yeah, turn it around a bit, Southampton, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I think they've got 31 points at the moment now. So a couple of weeks ago, you're looking at them maybe for relegation, and they've climbed that table. Yeah,
Hasenhüttl's men have been on form, certainly, but it's a tough game at Anfield today. So they are 2 of our feature games. We'll be bringing you, the guys will be updating you on everything that happens, every ball that is kicked in those games. But we have 4 other games. Will Brazier, no one better placed than William to go over the other 4 games. We'll just remind the viewers the other 4 games that you'll be covering.
Yes, I'll be watching Watford, Everton, Newcastle versus Norwich, Crystal Palace versus Sheffield United, and Bournemouth versus Aston Villa.
Which one are you most looking forward to, Will, and why?
Probably Bournemouth versus Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Just to see if Aston Villa can carry on their winning ways after a great result on Tuesday night.
Yes, with your Birmingham City fan hat on there.
No, just the journalist, mate. It's very new.
It's very new. There we go. And of course, we want you guys to get involved in the show at home. Doogie is back on the show on Social Corner. Doogie, just remind the viewers how they can get involved.
Yeah, get your best questions in the comment section of the Soccer AM and Football Daily streams, and I'll ask the best of them to our beautiful panellists.
Yeah, there you go. There are the ways to get on in touch on your screen right now. Get involved, get in touch. No such thing as a bad question. Get them in for all of our guests. So here is a reminder of the fixtures that will be taking place today on the Football Social. Just a reminder that there was an early kick-off. Epic game this, actually. Leicester 2, Chelsea 2. So points shared at Leicester. The fixtures will be covering Bournemouth against Villa, Palace against Sheffield United, Liverpool against Southampton, Newcastle against Norwich, Watford, Everton, West Ham against Brighton, and Wolves travel to Old Trafford. That is in the evening game. 5:30 kick-off should be a good one, that. Let's have a look at what it means for the table so far. Once again, we've said this many times on the show, the Premier League table doesn't make for good reading if you are a Norwich fan. Rock bottom still, 17 points from 24 games. Watford and Bournemouth make up the bottom 3. But look at the points difference. 23 for Watford, 23 for Bournemouth, and 23 for West Ham, with Villa and Brighton just 2 points above them. So it's very, very tight at the bottom of the table. Let's have a look at the top. Paul, your former club, absolutely flying. 19-point lead, 70 points from 24 played. Goal difference of plus 41. Leicester following on from that draw with Chelsea remaining 3rd. Chelsea in 4th. So let's talk about a feature game, Liverpool. Carlton, let's get a sort of neutral's perspective. Do you see any possibility that they don't win the league, or is it just impossible to think otherwise?
It's going to have to be it's got to be a miracle for them not to win the league. It's got to be the mess-ups of all mess-ups for them not to win this league this season. And my cousin, he supports Sar. I'll say his name, Sar. He supports Liverpool, and he says he's been waiting his whole lifetime for this opportunity to see them in this such a good state of form. And I think it's the right time for him to say, do you know what? We're going to be the league winners, and I just can't have it. I just don't like him trotting around my house. I know he's going to come in. He's going to come in my house with his boxer shorts on. Yeah,
does he?
He'll do that, and then just try and throw his weight around. I'm not having it. You know what I mean? But this is what he does, and I've got a lot to deal with when I get home at the end of the season.
You know, when I asked that question, I had no idea where that was going. It wasn't the answer I expected.
But I've got other things in my mind.
I like it.
I know the consequences of Liverpool winning the league.
Well, your cousin Si will want to know the team lineup, so we can give you the team lineup. This is the Liverpool starting lineup. Alisson in goal, back four, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. What a back line that is. Midfield three of Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Henderson. And then front three of Firmino, Salah and Oxlade-Chamberlain, because Mane is, of course, injured. Let's have a look at the Southampton starting lineup. As Carlton alluded to earlier, they have been in a bit of form recently. They started McCarthy in go, Ward-Prowse, Stevens, Bednarek, Bertrand, midfield for Ginepro, Romeo, Højbjerg, linked with that deadline day move to Spurs, of course, did not prevail, so he remains at Southampton and he starts the game. Redmond on the left, Shane Long and man in form, Danny Ings up top. Conch, looking at that lineup, where is the obvious worry? You'd say Danny Ings, wouldn't you? Because he has been in form recently.
Yeah, I would say so. He's a bit like a fox in a box at the moment. Every chance that falls to him seems to hit the back of the net. So if he gets a chance, maybe Liverpool got to be careful in that. And Nathan Redmond, I think.
Yeah, good season. You don't think he's having a good?
He's done all right. I think he's got a few assists. So him and Danny Ings can link up, and they might surprise Liverpool, but I doubt it very much so.
Looking at pictures now of Danny Ings warming up, looks very relaxed. Carlton, as a former striker yourself, did you find this? Because he's obviously played at Liverpool, going back to your former club. Did you have a bit of extra drive going back to your former club, wanting to prove a point? Was there any extra motivation there?
To be honest, as a pro, you always got that extra drive anyway. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you always do want to play and score against your former clubs. It's just something that's in you. You know what I mean? Like, you've done it before. But you know what? I didn't actually do that. I stayed loyal all the way to the end. You know what I mean? I played for you. I don't want to score against you. Like, you know what I mean? So that was my excuses.
Conch, were you the same? You just thought, I'm not going to score, get the respect?
No, to be fair, I did. When I went to Fulham and I obviously scored against West Ham at Upton Park.
I remember it.
But I wasn't lucky enough to score many goals, so when I did score, it didn't matter who it was against. It was a privilege to score.
Got to celebrate.
But it's all about the celebration, though.
Yeah.
You celebrated.
It is all about the celebration. He did like celebration.
To be fair, it was a cracker. Yeah? Remember it?
I do, yeah.
It was a cracker.
Yeah.
But I
didn't score many, did I? So
when you did,
ones I did,
you
I had to celebrate. Yeah,
fair enough. As well as all of this, we do bring a group bet to you, like we always do on the Football Social. This is what the panel have predicted. So, Will, Bournemouth against Villa. Of course, he's gone with Bournemouth to beat Villa as a Birmingham City fan. I have gone for Sheffield United to beat Palace. There's some tough fixtures to call it. Paul, you've gone Liverpool to beat Southampton, one of your former clubs. Called for a home win, Watford against Everton, and Carlton is back in his former club, West Ham to beat Brighton. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply. You can get odds of 105 to 1. Please gamble responsibly, and for more odds, go to skybet.com. So as well as the group bets, we can give you some price boosts as well. Once again, this is courtesy of our friends at Sky Bet. They will be on your screen any minute now. Here they are. Salah to score a hat-trick. So these are all in our feature game. Liverpool against Southampton. That was 14 to 1, now 16 to 1. Ings to score any time was 15 to 8, now 5 to 2. And you think Henderson to score and Liverpool to win in 90 minutes. You could have got 13 to 2 for that, but that is now at 8 to 1. So some very good price boosts there, courtesy of our friends at Sky Bet. We can give you the scenes at Liverpool. These are the live scenes at Anfield. Liverpool have been phenomenal. We're running out of words, superlatives to describe Liverpool this season. It is one change from Liverpool's win at West Ham. Fabinho replaces Divock Origi as Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain moves into a more attacking role. Southampton make 4 changes, interestingly, from the win at Crystal Palace. Bednarek, Romeo, Ginepro and Ings all return to the starting line. The atmosphere sounds and looks brilliant, as it always does at Anfield. You'll never walk alone, belting out through the tannoy, and surely we'll look at another tough day for the away team, as it has been for many teams going there, Will.
Yeah, I think so. But if there was anyone to do it, I don't know, just it feels like Southampton. I just got a feeling in my waters. Don't know if that's the dodgy coffee. You know, it's just one of them days, Carlton.
I was saying that on Wednesday when we got beat by Liverpool.
There you go, I've got to carry on. I'll take your positive into this one.
Yeah, I mean, their record...
Optimism.
Optimism, their record at Anfield has been phenomenal, beating every single team in the Premier League. this season. They've only dropped 2 points.
Okay, I'll go Liverpool.
You're going Liverpool.
No, stick by it.
Stick with it. He's going to stick with it. We can give you the live scenes from around the grounds. Don't forget there are 6 3:00 kickoffs. They are forever blowing bubbles. There are the bubbles that are being blown at West Ham. Big game at the bottom of the table. West Ham make 3 changes to the side from the midweek defeat by the Premier League leaders Liverpool. Debutant Thomas Souček comes in, as well as Ryan Fredericks and Mikel Antonio. While deadline day signing Jared Bowen does not make their match day squad. Brighton 3 changes from the side that were defeated by Brighton last week. And it looks noisy, doesn't it? It sounds noisy there. And a big game there.
Absolutely massive.
For both clubs. These are the scenes at Bournemouth. Another team that was struggling recently, and Eddie Howe makes just the 1 change to the Bournemouth side that beat Brighton. Solanke drops to the bench as Dan Gosling comes in. Dean Smith hands new £8.5 million signing Mbamwa Samata, his Premier League debut, and one of 2 changes to the Villa team who beat Watford last time in the league. Douglas Luiz also starts in place of Danny Drinkwater. So quite a few big games at the bottom of the table here. It'll be interesting to see how this affects the bottom half of the table. And I'm sure that a lot of these teams will have one eye, or one ear, should we say, on the other results. Let's have a look at the live scenes at Vicarage Road. Here we go, teams are out. Watford versus Everton. Watford making 1 change to the side, beaten at Aston Villa in their last league game. In the dying minutes, we were here covering that game on the Football Social. The change is Craig Dawson replaced by Christian Kabasele. Everton 3 changes from the home draw of Newcastle. 2 late goals for Newcastle. Richarlison, Sigurdsson and Iwobi replace Keane, Schneiderlin and Bernard. And that's not all, because there's another game at St James's Park. Here are the live scenes. Newcastle make 3 changes from the 2-2 draw at Everton. New signing Nabil Bentaleb starts alongside Deandre Yedlin and Alan Saint-Maximin. The Longstaff brothers and Christian Atsu drop out. Norwich unchanged from the side that lost 2-1 at Tottenham in their last league game, and Norwich badly need a win. Sit rock bottom of the Premier League table. Our final game is at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace against Sheffield United. Here are the scenes. Players coming out of the tunnel. Palace make 4 changes to the side that lost to Southampton at Selhurst Park. Van Arnholt, Ward and Benteke all return from injury, while skipper Luka Milivojevic is back from suspension. Chris Wilder, on the other hand, makes just 1 change to the Sheffield United team that lost 1-0 at home to Man City. January signing Sander Berge handed his debut for the club. There we go, so those are the live scenes. Doogie, we were talking earlier about winners and losers in terms of teams in the transfer window. I think it's fair to say it's quite a hard one to answer. There was no obvious team that had an amazing transfer day because it was fairly quiet. But Sheffield United looks to be one that have done quite well. And given the start they've had to the Premier League season, it's quite an exciting time to be a Sheffield United fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a remarkable start to the season. I mean, I've been left with egg on my face. I thought they'd go down at the start of the year. But they've been awesome in their team chemistry, the cohesion they've got. And then they've added someone of the quality of Sander Berge, who... Rumours had it Liverpool were looking at, Man United were looking at, because he excelled in the Champions League. I think it was in their loss to Liverpool for Genk in a 2-1 defeat, and Klopp said, I like the look of you as a player. So for Chris Wilder to get this through the door for 25 million, young player, got all the chance of developing in a settled side, I think it's a great move.
Yeah, all of our games have just kicked off, incidentally. Brighton straight on the attack at West Ham. Chance! Oh, Carlton, talk us through that. Big early chance for Brighton at West Ham.
Yeah, I think that was... Yeah, Moy, he's a dangerous player.
Yeah.
So I think the boys need to get a grip. Look. Oh, wow.
Here's a replay now. This is in the first minute of the game.
Yes, we need to be on the front foot here. Obviously, we're at home. This can't be happening.
Should he do better, Moy?
Free header as well.
To be honest, he's got to do a lot better than that. Free header.
It's free header about 7 yards out.
Oh, mate.
The goalkeeper's just planted. A big let-off for West Ham.
It's a big let-off, and I think that should shock our boys into action now.
And earlier you were smiling because just before kick-off they were showing Carlton Cole goal on the big screen.
Yeah, I was.
Which goal was it?
I don't even know which one it was, to be honest.
Many,
there was a few up there.
Love that. Well, we didn't see one of your goals, though, on the big screen.
No.
That's that game.
I think I only scored one for West Ham. Against I don't remember it. Against Sunderland, yeah.
Premier League classics.
Premier League classic. Before the game as well, we did see Jared Bowen being displayed to the crowd. Big positive reaction to that. What do you make of that signing? It seems quite a good signing, bearing in mind not a lot was done late on in the window.
I think he's a brilliant signing, to be honest. He's young, 23. He's looking to develop in his career. And the thing about it, people are saying, oh, how comes he's gone to us because we're on a landslide? But he thinks that we're going to be staying up. So obviously that's why he's come to us. And hopefully he does the job. And I think Haller will definitely benefit from him as well.
Do you think?
Yeah, because he's a willing runner to go beyond.
Right.
Haller likes it into chest, like how I used to play. He's not really a runner in behind.
I think they'll complement each other's game.
They'll complement each other's game. And the only person that we have in the squad that actually runs in behind a lot would probably be Mikel Antonio.
Yeah.
And he plays well with Haller. So hopefully he gets the best out of Haller.
OK, all of our games, no goals so far. We're into the 3rd minute of all the 3 o'clock games. Let's go to Doogie on Social Corner. Have you got any questions from the viewers, Doogie?
Yeah, we do. First one is from Godzilla Punch, and they want to know, lads,
get used to some of the
get ready for these names. YouTube names, they're all over the place.
Okay.
Anyway, they want to know, what are your best stories from deadline day as a player? It doesn't necessarily have to be your own moves.
I think I might know what's coming here, Carlton.
All right, I've got one. Yeah.
Far away.
All right, so basically, it was deadline day, obviously. Heard that West Brom was after me. I was at West Ham at the time. West Brom was after me. And something happened. I had a chance to go to West Brom or QPR. I chose West Brom. I've gone up the motorway. I've been told I can go.
This is because Adebayor was rumoured to be leaving Spurs for West Ham, which allowed you to leave the club.
Yeah, so there was a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
So I'm up there, just like, done my medical, passed it, don't know how by the way, but I passed it. Because I've gone in there with a limp and I left with a limp, right?
Perfect, we'll sign in.
So yeah, that's my type of player. Peg leg, yeah? So anyway, so I've done all the medical, I'm in the canteen looking to sign now. And then I got a phone call from Big Sam. And he's gone, Sam Allardyce, and he's gone...
Current West Ham manager at the time,
Current West Ham manager at the time says, Carlton, I'm going to have to call you back, son. And I've gone, what? And look, the language that was used to Big Sam.
Wow. I'll be repeated on this show.
Can't be repeated on the show, but it was really, really bad.
And it was as simple as Adebayor's move didn't happen, so they needed you back.
Yeah.
And even though you were at West Brom, in your mind, you'd agreed to go to West Brom, medical done.
Yeah, you're gone already.
And now you've got to go back.
You have to kind of wheel it back in. And I didn't go training for a couple of days.
Oh!
And it was a long journey home on that motorway, do you know what I mean? But sometimes those sort of things do happen, but I sorted it out with the gaffer, carried on, tried to be as professional as possible. Well, I was professional as possible. And I left at the end of that season.
Great first question. Now, Will, there was a screen from you. Before we go back to Doogie, what happened? Which game?
Yeah, Norwich on the attack. They got a corner, another one coming in, but it was a great save from Dubravka, header down, and it was punched over the bar, but a free header for Norwich, and they should be 1-0 up.
Ooh. Carlton, West Ham...
I think Antonio.
Corner West Ham.
Antonio, a massive player for us. I think when he's playing, we're a much better team.
Here's the replay of this free kick. Talk us through it.
It's offside, didn't he? Ooh.
Good save.
Yeah.
Still 0-0. Corner for West Ham. Will, any other chance in any of your games?
No, but interesting one down at the Villa. Obviously, Nyland had an absolutely unbelievable performance in midweek with those 3 magnificent saves, but he's been dropped, and Pepe Reina's starting instead.
Oh, Pepe's back, isn't he?
Pepe Reina is at Aston Villa. Had a very good record at Aston Villa, interestingly, when he was playing for Liverpool.
Right.
Hoping to replicate that as a Villa player. Paul, injury in one of your games. What's going on in the feature game between Liverpool and Southampton?
There's not a lot going on, but just a simple ball downfield from Arnold. Just clashed with Jordan Henderson, the big centre-half, the captain of Southampton. Looks a little bit late, but it was nothing malicious in it, to be fair.
No. Is he going to be OK to carry on, do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like it's a painful one, but he's...
Right on the ankle bone, I think.
I think he'll be rubbing
He's a tough man.
That one off. Doogie, great first question, by the way.
Thank you.
Got a very good story out of Carlton. So, any others you got for us?
Yes, I do. I've got one from Abdullah Gawala, who wants to know, what did you guys make of United's transfer window? Obviously, they got Bruno Fernandes through the door, and a bit of a surprise move with Ighalo as well, coming in on loan.
I think Bruno Fernandes definitely a great talent, and he's it was a move that we didn't actually think it was going to happen, did we?
No, we did the debate, didn't we, on Monday?
Because he played a game for Sporting, so we actually didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, on Monday when we did the show, the initial bid for Man United had been turned down, and he was starting for Sporting Lisbon. So we had the chat, and yourself and Paul Merson and Danny Mills, we said it looked like if we started that game, it wouldn't happen. And the next day, United, so I think they probably looked at the possibility of losing him and just didn't want that to happen.
I actually didn't think it was going to happen. Then it happened, and then you're thinking, brilliant signing. Then, last night I'm looking at I'm looking at the TV and I'm seeing the Garlo's going over there. I'm like, the Garlo, is it the same one that was at Watford?
It was the same one.
That went to China. And what a move for him, by the way. It's a dream move. I thought it was speculation. I just thought someone just put.
Did you?
Yeah, but I didn't really think it was going to happen. I woke up this morning, checked my phone, and he's gone. So it was unbelievable.
Contrary, do you make of that move? The Garlo one.
I think Solskjaer wanted a centre forward. He made it clear, and I think he wanted Josh King at obviously Bournemouth, but for some reason didn't happen. I think he had Josh King when he was in Norway as well, when he played in Norway.
Yeah, played in Norwegian.
So
Josh King was at United briefly, wasn't he?
So he obviously knew him, and that's the player he wanted. So obviously that one didn't come off, and he maybe went to plan B or C. Yeah. It's a weird one. I think Man United fans will give him the benefit of that if he comes and scores some goals.
Definitely.
First goal of the game. Who's it gone to?
Vicarage Road, and it's Watford 0, Watford 1, Everton 0. What a way to start. Ball worked down the left-hand side, just trying to see who it was, but it was brought in and it bounced up nicely, and it was sort of on a half volley. It's been put in the side netting. That's when you know it's a good one.
You just saw the dugout there cheering that. Nigel Pearson had a great run of form recently since he's come in. It's a big, big goal for Watford, that.
That's Messina.
And here is the replay. Will talk us through this first goal of the day for us on the Football Social.
Yeah, switcher play. Ball comes all the way around. Delafeu with a delicate touch. Brings it back into his right. Sees the run of your man there, Doogie.
Messina.
And then Messina later.
Oh, good. Works on two levels, just about.
It's 1-0 to Watford.
Colton Colesta.
Colton Colesta goes for that. Hits the back of the net.
Lovely goal.
We're just seeing, there we go, nice slow-mo replay of that.
Look at that ball in there.
Lovely finish, that, Carlton.
Lovely
one
finish.
that you'd be proud of.
I would be. It's a really good finish. Hits the bottom corner. Purchases some good. On his lefty. Is he left-footed? Is he left-footed?
Yeah.
I used to score like that on my left foot. I'm not left-footed. I'm actually right-footed.
Loving the Carlton Cole stories. Hopefully more will come. There we go, 1-0 Watford, and we just saw scenes of Nigel Pearson in the dugout applauding that. Interestingly, Nigel Pearson is the guest on Goals on Sunday tomorrow, so make sure that. Another chance. What's going on, Will?
Bournemouth had a penalty shout. Dan Gosling ran into the box, tried for the 1-2, and as he's going back for the second one, he's been blocked off by, I think it was Tyrone Mings in the area. Appeals for a penalty, not given. I personally would have given it.
You would have given it? Oh, OK.
But I don't know if that's based on any refereeing knowledge or expertise.
Just seen the goal.
See, this is what I was talking about Antonio.
Chance to Liverpool
cross. Yeah. Oh. So this is what I was talking about of Antonio. He's a willing runner to go in behind any defence, and then you'll get someone like a quarterback in and playing him the ball in behind the defence, and no defender likes facing their own.
Play against that. Yeah.
No, they don't like facing their own goal.
Right.
So they don't like running backwards. Be my witness, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So that when he's playing, he's a vital component to the team. And I think we'll score a goal or two with him in the team today.
Paul, we haven't spoken much about Liverpool. It's been quite a quiet start to the game.
Yeah, very quiet. But they just had a chance, or half chance in the box from a corner. Fell to Salah, but just took too long to get his shot off.
OK, so 0-0 still. Only the one goal of the day, and that has come at Vicarage Road. Big goal, Watford. Let's go to Social Corner while we await the second goal of the day.
Yes, we have a question in from Liam Jones, and this is for Paul, who wants to know, was the heavy burden of being at a big club like Liverpool, where you're expected to be title contenders each year, but obviously having never won the Premier League, really felt in the dressing room at the time you were there? That's pressure.
Yeah, being at a big club, I think you're always expected to be contending for the Premier League, especially a club of Liverpool's calibre. But it was a hard time when I was there. They was trying to sell the club, the owners, so it was up in the air, and I think they brought Andy Carroll late on deadline day, so it was a bit of a carnage when I was there. But obviously the calibre of the club, there's always hope, and the fans expect them to be fighting for the Premier League, and hopefully they've got their wish this year.
Could you see it on people like Steven Gerrard, like the way they acted? Could you see how much it was really weighing on them, the fact they hadn't got over the line in the Premier League?
Not really. I think being a professional footballer, someone of Stevie's calibre and Jamie Carragher's calibre there, they know they should be maybe doing better than what they did. But it ain't about individuals, it's about a team. So it's probably a hard time for them because they bled Liverpool and never ever won the Premier League with them.
Stevie nearly left because to go and win the league, basically, didn't he? He was going to go
left
Chelsea,
yeah.
to go for Chelsea because obviously they was in a good stage of their. Well, for a club of that size, Liverpool should have been winning the league now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Chelsea was already doing it, so he was going to leave to go there. So it would have made sense. But I think something happened when he couldn't go.
Yeah.
Another chance for West Ham. Ooh.
Yeah, because he was very close.
Sorry,
to
John.
Obviously got really close to Rodgers as well. So, but it looks like it's going to happen this year for sure.
Another chance for Carlton. A bit of a half chance this, wasn't it? But again, another free kick that has troubled Brighton.
Yeah, so for me, I think once we get that first goal, it's going to be plain sailing for us. I don't think Brighton's got enough for us.
You think the first goal, similar as that, it's all West Ham if they get the first one?
Definitely. Okay. I think first goal is going to be West Ham because of the way the game's going. Don't think Brighton are playing too well now. We just need to keep on pumping away at the defence and we should be fine.
Both played for West Ham, both involved at the club now in coaching capacity. Just sort of tell us, if West Ham don't manage to win this, how the sort of feeling will be amongst the fans and the club. Are they getting a bit nervous, the fact that they're being dragged into the sort of relegation zone, or are people quietly confident they've got enough to pull themselves out of it?
I think at the moment the fans you see yourself near the bottom. It's an hard time for them. With the squad the club have got, we know we shouldn't be down there, but for some reason we are. We all know we need to start winning football matches, and hopefully today will give the club a big boost if they can try and get 3 points.
Agree with that, Carlton? You think win today and it kick-starts them?
That's because if you look at our fixtures, our upcoming fixtures, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough. So today is going to kick-start definitely that we can start climbing up the league, and even against the bigger teams we can try and take points from them here and there, and that should hold us in good stead to look up the table and look to the next stage. But we need to finish strong. You
mentioned your upcoming fixtures. After Brighton today, West Ham play Man City away, followed by Liverpool away, home to Southampton, home who we've said have been on a good run of form, followed by Arsenal away. So you look at that as a fan and think, this is a game we need to win.
Exactly, and that's why I was worried. I didn't actually know that until after the Liverpool game on Wednesday. So I was like, oh my God. So I started to worry a little bit, as you would naturally do.
Yeah. But so you've got you and your cousin the West Ham Liverpool game as well. You got that?
Oh mate, I had a lot of pressure on me. A lot of pressure, and then afterwards it's just doom and gloom. I just went home and slept, mate. Slept it off. But definitely, look, if we come through this game unscathed, we should be fine. I think we've got enough, and especially with the new signings, we can actually boost ourselves up the table now because everyone's going to be reinvigorated now.
Seems to be getting a lot of joy down the flanks. We've seen another chance. Another chance down the flanks for West Ham. Just saw Trent on the ball, delivering another whip that he's got in his locker. You had that in your day, Paul, didn't you? Down the byline, whipping it in.
I think I put one in the top corner, mate, in the cup final.
You did, didn't you?
He just tried it there, I think, Arnold. No, he's trying to put a cross in there, and it's gone a bit wayward, but it's nearly ended up in the top corner.
Yeah, hasn't it? Look at this. It's one of them that the keepers don't like, do they, when you don't know if it's shot or cross?
Shot or cross,
Speaking of assists as well, Trent Alexander-Arnold provided more assists than any other player in the Premier League since the start of last season. I'll repeat, that's not any other defender, that's any other player.
Wow.
22 assists since the start of last season.
Sensational.
In joint second place in that list is teammate Andrew Robertson with 17. As a fullback, former fullback, Paul, used to like to bomb on a bit. How impressed have you been with Trent and his game?
Yeah, unbelievable.
And he's just a phenomenon, isn't
he? You can see he wants to get forward and attack and make goals and wants to score goals. He's been unbelievable. Both fullbacks, to be fair, for Liverpool have been up there for the last 2 seasons, probably the best 2 fullbacks in every team.
Yeah, top 2 players. As we said, Trent Alexander-Arnold with a cross-come shot onto the top of the net. Will, bit of a scream from you. Just give us an update. What happened in your game?
Yeah, all Norwich at St James's Park. The Bravka's been pulled into another amazing save. Ball on the edge of the area. It was sort of nothing, and then all of a sudden 1-2. Pukki out of his feet, and then it was a half volley, which was tipped over the bar. Another Norwich corner whipped in. Keeper's not come.
Oh,
Cleared. Back in, over the bar, 0-0, no goals scored.
Palace, Sheffield United, I'm just conscious that I gave my prediction for that and I haven't heard a lot about that game. Anything of note that's happened at any point in this first 18 minutes of that?
Quite a lot of people in the crowd wearing sunglasses, which you'd have to question at this time of year.
In February, is it February? No,
February, yeah, it is bright day, but is it a need for sunglasses? Probably not, but apart from that, ball whips in by Crystal Palace. Cleared away, nothing's happened.
Oh, Jack Grealish is down. We know that he's one of the most foul players in the Premier League. He's having a great season, scored a lot of goals. Another foul on Jack Grealish. We've seen that a lot this season. Looks like he'll be right to carry on, though, but he's not happy with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, he knows what he's doing, but I think players go out there to try and ruffle the feathers a bit early on. Yeah, he's back up and fine, thankfully.
Carlton, you're animated there. It seems to, from the early chance with Brighton, it seems to be all West Ham on the ball now.
It's all West Ham now. We're controlling the game, but this is the danger part.
Yeah.
Like when you think you're comfortable in the game and you're probing, and then all of a sudden there's a sucker punch. Nearly with a debut goal, it would have been nice, lift the spirits of the team. But when you've got this much possession, it's very vital that you
have to take a chance.
You've got to take your chance. It was like with me with the kids today when we was coaching with Gerard Prenderville. Like we've had a lot of possession.
Liverpool chance.
Then,
come back to the minute, Carlton. Big chance for Liverpool. Mo Salah. Paul, talk us through this chance for Liverpool.
It's another ball from Arnold into the front.
handball.
Chamberlain.
I'll say that's a
just
handball.
knocked it down. Salah shot with a deflection.
Carlton's saying that Salah controlled this with his hand.
That's a handball.
That
was a handball too.
With his hand.
That was a handball.
The Ox with his hand and Salah with his hand.
They're winning the league.
But they didn't give it.
They didn't even give it.
We'll see.
Neither. The Ox and Salah with their hand. Would you have given that, Paul?
With today's VAR and stuff, I think they'd give that as a penalty.
No!
I think they're looking at it right now, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Højbjerg and Stevens are complaining about something.
Imagine
it's a corner.
It's a corner.
So no handball.
No handballs given, even though we saw.
So if they score from this,
Liverpool corner, you won't be happy, Carlton, if this goes in.
I won't be happy.
Okay, Paul, go on, talk us through this corner.
Arnold puts it in.
Oh, disappointing corner. But it's another corner, so it's still from that incident. Danny Ings,
which could have been two handballs.
Are you amazed they didn't give that? Because to be fair to Carlton, you said that straight away before we saw the replay.
Straight away.
I think now with the VAR, they keep going back to that. Anything that touches your arm, it's handball now. So.
Just cleared.
Big chance for Liverpool, and the danger has been semi-cleared. It's been pumped back into the box. It's not gone away yet.
Oh, what a pass!
Tell me, with the VAR,
go on.
If it is a handball, so if that's a handball now, they ain't going to use the VAR for that, will they?
They looked at it, I think.
You think they looked at that?
What's the question? Sorry, if they give it as a handball?
VAR. So if it's gone out for a corner kick, so it's still an advantage to.
Once the corner kick's been taken, they then can't go back and change the decision.
Oh, really?
From a previous incident.
But it looked like they looked at that handball.
Did they? Right. So I was looking at all the games.
Handball.
They can communicate with the referee on any of them. It's like with penalties, they can. But with regards to a lot of decisions, it's only if it's a clear and obvious error that they overturn it. So. Okay. But you said straight away handball. It wasn't given.
I wouldn't be able to play in this era. I'd be scratching my head all the time. Like that.
The other issue with VAR,
Carl.
Big chance! St James's Park, Will.
Yeah, Joe Linton's nearly scored, and then it was a great save by Crawley in the Tim Krul derby. He's pushed it back out, and it is Almiron coming in late. Not an open goal, but he should score, and he's put it wide.
Hit the target.
Yeah, it's a big problem for Newcastle. They don't score many goals. Joel Linton scored just one goal in his last 24 appearances, and that was against Rochdale in the FA Cup. Almiron scored 3 goals in his last 6 appearances, but failed to score in his first 26 games for the club. Andy Carroll not scored in his last 27 Premier League appearances, so it's an area they need to improve on.
See, this is what I'm saying.
And they've missed 3 of the last 4 penalties. The goals for stats don't sound good for Newcastle, do they?
Well,
all of them sounding pretty bad.
Who's the striker?
Joe Linton.
I
just said Joe Linton scored one goal in his last 24 appearances against Rochdale in the FA Cup.
Look, if that was me,
Southampton chance. Oh,
If that was me, I'd be getting strung out, mate. I wouldn't be playing the next game. There's no chance. If I weren't scoring any goals or contributing, I wouldn't be in the
prize
team,
list that we can give you on your screen right now. We just saw a chance to snap straight down the other end for Liverpool. They just cleared Danny Ings. We mentioned that he is playing against his former club. He is a man in form as well to score the first goal. That is a price boost of 8-1 with Sky. But don't forget, it must be 18 plus full terms and conditions apply. Chance for Delph.
Oh no!
No chance for Brighton, Carlton. Carlton Cole took us through what was a big chance for Brighton.
I just caught the last bit. I just see him running in on goal. I saw Seb Haller holding his head, but I didn't know what had happened before that.
Here's the replay. It's very much on the counter-attack here.
Okay, so it's a counter-attack. It's a great run, to be honest, and a great ball outside the boot.
Should he be scoring here, Carlton?
Yeah, that touch there killed him. That touch killed him, and then he's got to be putting that right near the goalkeeper's feet.
Quite a weak strike. And Fabianski he hardly even dives.
You know what I mean? They always say go for the keeper's legs. Because they naturally they want to go down with their hands, and they can't sort their feet out because it's planted. So you got to go close to their legs. But he just done it there, which was a bit of a nothing shot, really.
Poor chance. So although West Ham, you said, have been dominating the game, Brighton have had 2 big chances in this match.
This is what I'm saying. So when we got so much possession, as I was saying with the kids today, we had so much possession, but the killer is that we given away possession at the wrong time, and then they gave us a sucker punch. And they went on and counter-attacked and scored, and it killed us 3 times today.
And what was the final score?
It was 3-2 Yeah, we lost. So but we had all the possession.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? So this is what I don't want to happen today.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of those moments.
Dougie, let's go back to your social corners. Remind us how they can get in touch.
Yes, make sure you are subscribed to Soccer AM and Football Daily to start with, but get your questions in the comment section of both streams, and I will ask the best ones to our panellists. The next one comes from Mr. Cookie925, who wants to know, Carlton, were you surprised that Chelsea didn't make any signings this window, considering that ban was overturned?
Thought we'd gone in.
I said something earlier before the window opened, like when the rule got overturned for them. I think they went. The transfer embargo opened up for them. I was like, that may be a curse for them if they go out and because they were doing well at the time. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think they actually needed something. All I think they needed was to galvanise the team. And if they was going to get anybody, go and get a centre back, a central defender, because. And I was thinking about Ake from...
Nathan Ake. I think they've got a buyback clause for Nathan Ake.
So 40 million or something like that. So,
which isn't a lot in today's market,
no,
is it?
No, it's not. So I would have gone for him if I was going to do, but I knew that Bournemouth ain't going to let him go, especially in the position they're in right now. So I think they'll just rather wait and do business later because the pressure's not really on them. They're doing well at the moment and they're overachieving, I think. And I think... he's done well, Frank. So
I think the big question seems to be whether if Giroud went out, then they bring in a striker, but that didn't end up materialising. So
yeah, well, Tariq Lamptey's gone to Brighton. I was quite surprised at that as well. I was surprised at that because he's up and coming, but then you got Reece James. You got Reece James in the same position, who they've just signed a 5-year contract. So probably he's pathway to the first team, and they could go in the summer. They could probably go out and buy like a seasoned pro right back as well, or you know what I mean, or a left back, whatever position they want. So he probably looked at it and said, I'm not going to sign a new deal here, because I know he got offered a new deal, Tariq, but he didn't want to take it. Yeah, he got offered one, but he didn't want to take it. So
because he played well in his debut against Arsenal, I think it was.
He done really well.
Stage,
so no,
I was surprised at that one as well.
Hopefully he gets some minutes under Potter. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I know what you mean about because I said I felt that the fact that they had the transfer embargo in the summer actually aided the development of a lot of like Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, because I was certain that if they hadn't had that transfer embargo, just my opinion on it, but I think Chelsea would have tried to buy a striker and Abraham's game time and development would have been limited.
Yes.
So the fact they didn't have that, I thought it was just almost a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it was.
That it allowed them to develop. Having said that, I did think they would have bought something in January. But I think what the transfer window in January proves is how hard it is to get your right player. I mean, look at Tottenham spent... How many strikers were they linked with? And, you know, linked with you nearly, weren't they? Everyone else was linked with.
I did offer my services.
Did you?
And I've done it on Sky Sports as well, but I still didn't get a phone call. You know what I mean?
Love it. Brighton again. Ooh. Brighton just finding a bit of joy here, Carl.
Finding a bit of joy, yeah. I'm worried.
Get it across.
I'm worried now because, here we go.
Another header, Carlton. We've said it's been all West Ham, but... Murray now with another chance.
This is
oh, no!
This is really what I'm scared of at the moment, because you got all the possession and then you just get a sucker blow like this and it just knocks the stuffing out of you.
And it's another.
And that could have been an easy goal. They've had two good headers, good opportunities to score.
And we've seen Glenn Murray score from that range. Chance in one of Will's games. Will, we heard a yell. What was happening?
Yeah, it should be 1-0 to.
Oh, big miss, Bournemouth.
The right-hand side. Harry Wilson gets a 1-2 low ball.
Oh, he's got to be scoring there.
Dan Gosling on the 6-yard box.
And he knows, Will, look at his body language.
He's crunched
look
up.
Look at that, Carlton. He knows he should have scored that.
Like he's not got a Yorkshire on his roasting it and he's asked for one.
And a half chance for Southampton, Paul, was there?
Yeah, a little one. I think they're frustrating Liverpool at the moment. They're going for it. They've got when they're Liverpool back four playing with the ball, they're pushing 3 up. So Liverpool find it hard to play out. Long just nicked one off the centre back and got his shot off, but Alisson saved easily.
How long can they play at that pace though? Closing down at Anfield.
Here we go.
There you go. Ooh. So it's hard when you go Anfield, I know that, mate.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't
maintain it for 90 minutes.
Maintain it for 90 minutes is hard, so we'll see how long it takes. They're just going to have to just...
Grealish?
Oh!
Another chance. Grealish has his slicked curtains hair in his hands. Will.
Yeah.
Chance for Villa to take the lead there.
He did that about 5 minutes ago and the ball went a bit further wide, but this time he's getting his range even closer on the left-hand side, dances his way onto his right, and it's a sort of a cross-come shot, and it's just gone past the far post. But yeah, Bournemouth didn't take the chances and they're very vulnerable at the back.
It's ones that keepers hate, isn't it? They don't know if someone's going to come for it or not. You leave it and then, fortunately, it doesn't go in the back of the net. Oh, Liverpool! Oh!
Guys, kick here for West Ham.
Go on, Carlton, stay with you.
There we go! Yes!
We're off. First goal for West Ham.
By the way, great ball, inviting, put it in the corridor of danger, they say.
No, and here it is. Here is the replay.
Straight in.
Oh, is it tight? I think he's okay.
Souček.
Here's the ball.
Though he's not involved, Souček.
They're definitely looking at that.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah,
but it looks absolutely
fine. Lovely. Come on, the Hammers. Well done. Great ball in there.
Great finish.
And good finish, Carlton, as well.
Yeah, Carlton Cole-esque.
Liverpool win. Goes to Liverpool.
Here we go.
Paul, talk us through this, because we nearly saw an audacious little backheel flick goal for Liverpool. The danger's not clear. It's a penalty. No.
Paul,
there's a lot of data, so go on, tell us what happened that phase of play. Nearly a very special goal there.
There's a deep free kick, and Van Dijk stays in the box, goes through and tries to backheel it into the goal.
Look at this here, look at this little backheel coming up.
That's before this.
Here he goes, here's the replay. To the back heel was saved, but they're appealing for a penalty. Now, do you think there is enough of a penalty? VAR are looking at a penalty at Liverpool. Is this a penalty for you, Carlton?
It's a pen.
That's a pen for me.
Yeah,
he's dragged him down, 2 hands on him.
The ref didn't give it originally, though.
I think it's Shea Long on Firmino.
Oh, he's not giving it. So just to confirm, the ref didn't give it originally, and it goes to Stockley Park. They're looking at it. There has to be a clear and obvious error from the referee for them to overturn it.
That's
so do you think because they didn't give it originally, it wasn't enough to overturn it?
Yeah. It's surprising, but it is.
But if he gives that,
yeah,
then it stays being given. So this is there's sort of still uncertainty with VAR that it's still going with referees.
It's the first bit. I think Salah's put that in. Van Dijk.
This should have been a special goal.
Great save
from a centre back.
It was naughty.
Little backheel flick was saved. Paul, we heard Carlton's view on that. Did you think that was a penalty?
Yeah, even when I looked at it second time, I think it was Shane Long back there defending. Had both hands on top of the centre forward and dragged him down in my eyes.
Yeah, and that's straight down the corner for Southampton. Southampton feel like they've been let off with that chance. VAR in one of the other games, Will.
Yeah, violent conduct was the charge, not guilty. Billy Sharp was found of a dangerous elbow. It was just sort of them ones where he's trying to control the ball, get a bit of his own space and put an elbow in someone's face. Oh, that rhymed. Grealish!
A lot of Jack Grealish we've seen at Bournemouth.
All down that left-hand side. I think it's Simon Francis playing right back, maybe Adam Smith, your name.
Great
name, great bloke. Absolute torrid time against Jack Grealish. You know what he's going to do, cut in on that right, but they can't stop it time and time again. Well, they did stop it on that.
I'll tell you what, Mikel Antonio, star man again.
Yeah.
This geezer's unstoppable at the moment. When he plays,
he's a bit fit.
Yeah, but he's not been fit. That's been, I think it's been a worry for West Ham, because when he's not playing, we're a totally different team.
Is it almost a bit frustrating as a West Ham fan? Like, your best players in terms of like form and putting passion on the pitch are always like Rice, Noble, and Antonio. Yet you spend 40 million on like the likes of Yarmolenko. Is that almost a bit frustrating to see?
Yeah, for fans it might be, yeah. But do you know what it is? That's why I always say every team should have an English core. Do you know what I mean? The heart and soul of the club, so that understands what it means to lose, and it's got a touch of reality in them, where they know what it means to the fans for them to perform. Sometimes when you've got a few foreigners that come across, they don't understand the concept of crowd pleasing and all the crowd wants from a team is to see some heart and passion.
I think especially West Ham fans, Colin, don't
they? They're just...
we were talking earlier.
You know what, it's interesting because me and Paul were having a similar chat when I was asking about West Ham fans, and you were saying that West Ham fans particularly like players that give their all on the pitch.
Yeah.
If I think they see you giving 110% for their club and for their badge, if that ain't good enough, then maybe they can not take that. But if they see you running around and tackling and showing some passion, I think... Especially West Ham fans for me, I think...
You found that particularly with West Ham fans more than other clubs you played for particularly?
Yeah, of course. And I think they pay a lot of money to go to the games and run around for them. Yeah, that's the least of what they want is you to run around.
Because that's what they would do if they had the opportunity. Do you understand? It was only when I got to West Ham I started to realise how much it meant for them to see you working hard. And look, you might not be the skillfulest player, but as long as you're working hard and you're leaving everything out on the field, they'll forgive you.
Right, there you go. Interesting insight into life at West Ham. Currently lead 1-0 at Brighton. Doogie, let's go back to you on Social Corner.
Yeah, we've got a question from Maze Gamer who wants to know who is, for you guys, the most underrated player and manager in the Premier League? Carlson, who do you think is the most underrated player at West Ham, for example?
Underrated player?
Oh, what a tackle that is.
For me, Antonio.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
I think Antonio's really underrated. Like what he does. Yeah, look, until I started watching him properly, because I wasn't watching before, but now I'm watching because I've done my badges now and I see what players can bring. Different players can bring to the. Obviously, he's not the most technically gifted, but what he does bring is that guile and energy and that tenacity that some players just don't have, even if they've got the skills. So he's definitely he just flies under the radar, but every West Ham player appreciates him.
Nice. And Paul, what about you in the Liverpool side? Who's the sort of unsung hero of this Liverpool side for you?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Especially this season, it's really tough.
Robertson?
Would you say Henderson's a bit unsung?
Henderson.
I was about to say Jordan.
Yeah.
He does all the dirty work.
Yeah.
Lets the other players go and play, and it's because he probably don't score as many goals, but he does a nitty gritty, and he run for a brick.
Chance for West Ham, Carlton.
It's a Bonner. I'm caning him later on.
Come on, this is a good friend of yours has just missed a chance.
I'm caning him later on. He's just hit an air ball, mate.
And you can reveal the player is, of course.
It's Mark Noble.
Your good friend Mark Noble.
He's done everything right here. Lovely weighted pass there. Shame it's Sogbonna there. But he's done well to find him. Mate.
Straight through the lane.
Completely mishit
Listen,
it.
I've done a lot of things, but I ain't done that before. On live TV, I've never done that. I've done it on the training ground.
VAR, one of the goal of Bournemouth! Will Ranger talk us through it!
Get it in! It's top billing! Phil Billing has scored for Bournemouth! 1-0 to them in this crucial crunch relegation battle. They lead, I think it was from a corner, and with Watford winning at Vicarage Road, how vital is that?
Here's the replay, Will!
Free kick in, keeper's not come, they've not cleared the danger, comes all the way to Simon Francis. Has it gone out of play? Have a little bit.
Have a look at that.
Works it onto his left.
What a
Billing rises. No, he doesn't. It comes back to him. Low finish.
Great goal.
Finish.
Ball in the side netting, and they probably will check that for VAR because I don't know if the ball went out.
What a setback, though.
Dangerous free kick here as well at Anfield.
Great ball.
Yeah, and a chance at Brighton as well. Ball whipped in. Fabianski picks it up. Right.
That's why he's in nets, man.
West Ham fans love Fabianski, don't they? Love
just
Fabianski.
a domineering character, man.
What
really
finish
good.
that is.
But he picked the ball.
What a player.
Managed to catch the ball. Let's go to Paul Konchesky because there is a chance. Just in a chance. Palace corner at Crystal Palace right now. A goal at Bournemouth. Safe from Fabianski, but we'll go to Paul because there's a free kick in a very dangerous area at Liverpool, which after 37 minutes, Paul, is still 0-0.
Yeah, like I say, I think Southampton are frustrating Liverpool and they're getting very frustrated. They're quite clever, Southampton. Little fouls here and there to break the play up. So there's a free kick now. Arnold's put the ball down. Let's see if he can work some magic here.
Salah, Henderson and Trent all over it. Who do you think will strike it?
I think Arnold.
Nah, he's not in the right position.
You think Salah?
Salah will.
Here he goes.
Oh, he has.
Oh!
I told you he's not in the right position. That's why it went there.
I think it's hit the wall. It's hit the wall.
Just have a look at it again. Trent. Started run up. Yeah, it's off the wall.
Okay.
It's one of them, actually, when you look at the replays, miles wide, but it was close. I think it's really close.
Yeah.
Another chance, West Ham. Oh!
Naughty.
Danger is cleared. A bit of an incident in the Watford game, Will. Watford-Everton. Strong challenge here.
Well, that goes back about 5 minutes ago. Digne put one on Pereira and they did a little VAR check for a red card, not given. Pereira's obviously trying to give one back. Ooh. And down at Palace, George Baldock just went a little bit over, a little bit naughty on Wilf Zaha, who does get a bit of treatment.
Another player that has been fouled a lot this season. We've spoken about Jack Grealish previously, Wilfried Zaha
always the case
as well. Liverpool on the attack again. It seems like Trent on the ball. That'll be a foul, and it's a free kick Southampton. Paul, looking at Liverpool, everything's going their way. They've been fantastic all season. Just look at the body language of some of the players. You used the word frustrated earlier. They seem to be a bit frustrated with how stop-start the game is and Southampton slowing it down. Are you getting that as well?
Yeah, I am, and the fans are getting a bit umming and ahhing, but I think Southampton are doing it well. They're breaking up play. If they have to foul them, they're doing tactical fouls, and Liverpool can't get in their flow at the moment.
Do you think this would have been the game plan from Hasenhüttl? They know that technically Liverpool edge it in that side.
Yeah, I think so, and I think, like Coley said, how long can they do it for?
Yeah.
But these little tactical fouls are frustrating Liverpool and the fans. And hold on, Ings is in.
Go on, Danny!
Go, Danny! That's his own player.
Wow, that is a big chance for Southampton. 39 minutes on the clock.
Big chance
and a big chance for them to go 1-0 up.
Big chance for West Ham as well just now.
Go on.
Mikel Antonio's had a couple of chances where he could have put it in the net.
Liverpool in here.
It's got
Sorry, Coley.
Mikel Antonio's had another chance where he could have scored. So he could have scored 2 goals by now. But it's just not happened for him in the box yet. So I'm just waiting for it to happen for him.
Will, what on earth's going on at Watford there?
I don't know. I haven't been drinking, just to clarify, but I've just seen a hornet seductively wrapped around a drum, pretending to sing.
In the corner flag.
Don't know if there's some fumes in this. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah.
I can confirm that Watford mascot was lying in the corner flag with the drum.
Yeah.
It was very odd, but it's... not a lot, clearly not loads going on at Watford in that game so far. Paul, a couple of incidents in the Liverpool game. Chance for Danny Ings, then a chance down the other end as well.
Yeah, well, Danny Ings got into the Liverpool box, dragged it back onto his left foot, and I'm not sure if it his own player or Alisson made a great save.
Yeah. They're in again, Paul.
Mate, this is...
Take it yourself, Shane.
Good picking cherries, mate. Picking cherries.
Shane Long. Worrying few minutes for Liverpool.
Yeah, they've got to get to grips. Him and Van Eyck and Gomez are too far apart.
Watford!
Goal! Will Fraser! Who's got it?
2 minutes ago, he could have been sent off. VAR check said no, but it's Roberto Pereira who has scored for Watford. 2-0 and 2 goals for them in this crunch relegation battle. Pickford looks dishevelled. He's shouting some expletives. I can't speak. It's 2-0 to Watford. Game on!
Pereira with the goal. Big goal.
Grealish kicking
There's a bit of afters at Bournemouth as well. Jack Grealish is not happy, Will. What's going on?
Most foul player.
He is.
He's got to give. He's giving it the old 1-2. My face, your shoe. He's going into Adam Smith's face. Adam Smith had a little push, shove, but not really a lot. Just trying to stir it up for the content, because of course content is king.
Content is king. Here's a replay of this Watford goal, Carlton one that you'd be happy with. Good finish that.
Lovely finish.
Lovely. Pickford, I think, got fingertips to it.
Deeney with it. Here we go.
Well. Yeah, Deeney's a massive player for these lot, and since Deeney's come back into the fold, they've looked a different side. And
Chambers lost it there.
And now Watford, you can see that they're just playing with confidence. They're beating Everton.
Yeah, you said Troy Deeney is in form. You're dead right. 5 goals in his last 7 Premier League games. Went 10 games without a goal before that. Club's 4th top scorer of all time. with 128 goals in 384 games.
Does that tie into what you were talking about, Carlton, as well, especially him? He knows everything about not just what it means to play for Watford, but like desire and working for a team as well.
Yeah, he's got the DNA in his club, the DNA of the club in his blood now. So I just think every time he goes out on that field, he's expecting the other players to be performing with the heart and the desire that he does. And I think he installs that in the changing room. So at half-time, if it's not going well, he'll enforce it into the other players. And that's what every team needs.
On that, I could have got this wrong, but I remember you doing an interview years ago saying that Scott Parker, talking about Scott Parker giving half-time team talks that almost made you how passionate. I remember you years ago
it
talking
was against,
about that.
we were 3-0 down against West Brom away. And it was really bad.
And he just took the team talk, did he? He took it beyond himself?
Yeah, I think was a bit fed up with what was going on as players.
Yeah.
And it was him, he said a word, and then you had Matty Upson that said a word, I even said a word.
Yeah.
But when Scotty said his, I was nearly in tears, man.
Really?
This is inspirational, man.
I
gave him a hug afterwards as well. I gave him a hug. I said,
what happened?
I'm going out there to play for you.
And what happened in the second half?
Bosh, I get a goal, then Demba Ba gets a couple, then it's 3-3.
Wow.
Love it.
And you think that's a real part of it, what Scott Parker said?
Yeah, it's massive. Like,
We spoke about him earlier. Was he going to leave? He didn't leave. He stays. And Bournemouth fans will be delighted because he has the ball in the back of the net, and that could be a massive goal for them this season.
Stick another 10 mil on his price tag. Everybody's got a price, as Jesse J once said, and it's 2-0 to Bournemouth. Nathan Aki with the goal. Naked Aki, that could be a different Aki. Harry Wilson
Aki and Saltfish.
And it comes back in. Oh, he's on him in.
Southampton are in. Another chance for Southampton. It's saved again from Allison. The ball is in the back of the net. And the chance for West Ham is all goal. The football
all going.
Who's got the ball in the back of the net?
There's a bit of kerfuffle in the blocks. He's come back out to Snodgrass. Snodgrass on the volley comes back out to him on his left dukes and just laces it in low and hard beyond the goalkeeper.
Big goal for Snodgrass. Big goal for West Ham. They're checking
2-0, I told you.
They're checking VAR, Carlton. The lines are out at
no.
the Vitality Stadium.
Look at this.
Another chance for Everton. Ball's in the back of the net, Will.
Listen,
Let's go.
You're not paying attention, Will.
I'm looking at the line, Smithy.
Come on, what's going on?
Oh, Yerry Mina! Not scored since 2018 in the World Cup. Well, not ones that I've seen anyway. And it's 2-1 at Watford.
And the goal's been given.
Yes.
Decision goal, no offside.
Hang on,
at the Vitality Stadium. So Nathan Aki's goal stands. It's a huge goal at the bottom of the table as Bournemouth go 2-0 up against Villa. Will to confirm. The Everton goal stands. It is a goal.
Yeah, Bournemouth goal stands. Possible offside, not given. Aki scores. Then there was a corner at Everton and Watford are 2-0 up. Ball bouncing around. Everyone's on the floor. It's like a play day on a Monday, and it's been prodded in by Yerry Mina.
Scrappy goal at Vicarage Road, but Everton will not care as the ball is in the back of the net. Paul, a lot of Southampton chances.
Yeah, Southampton have been on top the last 5 minutes. They're putting loads of pressure on Liverpool, and like you said earlier, they can't get into the game.
Jack Grealish again. It's all been Jack Grealish.
Left-hand side. You know what he's going to do, Smithy? Cut it onto his right, and he hit it, and it's gone under Ramsdale, hit his inner thigh, which he'll be glad he's been working on because that muscle has prevented the ball going in. Still 2-0 to Bournemouth.
Got to hold that in, son. Got to hold that in.
Time out.
All going on the Football Social. Our first half-time whistle has gone at Anfield. And it is Liverpool 0, Southampton 0. So a good first half for Southampton. Liverpool dominating in terms of the possession, looked the better on the ball, but Southampton, has to be said, had some big chances in that game.
8 shots apiece I've got
8 shots apiece, and some of Southampton's chances, on another day, you'd argue...
They come from mistakes, from Liverpool.
Paul, analyse the first half. How do you see it?
Come on, lads.
I think Southampton are frustrated Liverpool, but Liverpool cause their own problems. They're getting caught on the ball, which are leading to Danny Ings' chance, Shane Long's chance. Yeah. Redmond's had a chance near the end, but they're coming from Liverpool trying to overplay.
Do you think you've got the team list in front of you, the substitutes in front of you? Do you think Klopp will look to do anything at half-time or beyond half-time?
No, I think he'll wait. You've got Origi, who we know is attack-minded, so there's maybe a change there. But at the moment, I think he'll leave it. But I could see Origi coming on and maybe Chamberlain making way.
Told you about Southampton, didn't I? Just felt it in the
You
water.
did say you just felt it, Will Brazier. Did say that, Will Brazier. Well done, Will Brazier.
This could be a very long 45.
Yeah, could be a very... half-time whistle has gone at West Ham, Carlton. West Ham 2, Brighton 0. Issa Diop after 30 minutes. Robert Snodgrass 45. Big goal just before the half. Quite a lively game. Chances for both teams.
Yeah, listen, Brighton's come out. They've given it a go. They've had their fair share of chances, but they've just not put the ball in the net. And when you're away, you need to put those half chances in the net, and it just hasn't dropped for them. So we're actually, I'm
happy
in high spirits
happy
right now.
for
High
Hammer. Some of the other half times have gone. Bournemouth Villa is also half time at 2-0. Philip Billing and Nathan Ake. Big goal! Go on, talk to us then.
I said I hadn't seen him score since the World Cup. That was a lie. He scored 2 in 2 minutes. It's Yerry Mina. Wow. 3. He's already scored. So what do Watford do? Leave him free at the back post for a header. And it's 2-2 at Vicarage Road.
Yerry at the double.
Stunned. Look at him. He cannot believe it. Watford, of course, taking the lead in that game through Messina. They now find themselves behind, and Yerry Mina is dancing in the corner flag.
Yeah, I've seen some moves in my time, but that is a new one on me. A nice little shuffle of the shoulder, and that's what he did for the goal as well.
What's
no
that?
one on the
Hold
post.
on a minute.
Paul,
Where is the marking?
You've got to look at this.
Not just that. Look at the goalkeeper.
It's quite close to him.
Is that the old downward header?
Look at him.
And from a defensive point of view, Paul, it's a very, very poor goal to concede this from Watford, isn't it?
It's simple movement as well. It's just step one way, gone the other.
Who's that at the back? 15.
It's a great header, but Nigel Pearson won't be happy about that.
No, he will not be happy. Big
not
shot.
sure whether
And it's
Foster's,
another goal before
silence
half-time.
blocker.
Go on, Doogie, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm not sure whether Foster's... it looked like he didn't make much effort to get to that Mina header.
Yeah.
It looked like Holgate blocked his vision.
Yeah, I think he might have had...
Because it did look a bit bizarre.
However, Cathcart needs to have a look at himself at half-time. He needs one of them Scotty Parker team talks.
Yeah, he does
That
need a
was
Scotty Parker team. So
absolutely
just quickly on that then.
Fulham gets that now. Do
you think... So going on from that, we've all met Scott Parker. He's a lovely guy. Respected by so many people as well. Do you think that you're going to see a really, really good manager in the making? He's already doing it now, but long term,
yeah,
do you think what you know of him, he's going to be a very successful manager?
He is. He's a very serious person. He takes his craft and the art of football very seriously. You look at all the aspects of a game, attention to details. I always knew that he had it in him.
He's done that from 16.
Yeah, he's like that.
Really?
Isn't
I roomed with him at Charlton from 16.
Yeah, you know him better than me.
He's always been, like Coley said, so dedicated and wants to know everything. What's not good, what's good.
Yeah.
And so what he analyses now as a manager, he's always had that, but now I think he's shown his true potential.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on in his managerial career, doing very well at Fulham. So, the half-time whistles have gone. In all of our games, we can breathe a sigh of relief. Big last few minutes. A lot of goals. Let's have a look at how our group bet is looking. Don't forget we put this on before the game. It was 105-1 with Sky Bet prior. Will Brazier said home win for Bournemouth against Villa. He's currently right because Bournemouth are 2-0 up courtesy of goals from Philip Billing and Nathan Ake. I said away win Sheffield United against Crystal Palace. Still in the balance, still very much in the balance, only at 0-0. Paul went for a home win, Liverpool 0, Southampton 0. So that is still, we're still alive, guys, in the group bet. Producer Phil went for Newcastle to beat Norwich. Another 0-0, 3-0. There's not been loads of goals so far, but we are alive in the group bet as things stand because that one is 0-0. Doogie went for a home win between Watford and Everton, and that, of course, is 2-2. Lots of late goals in that. And Carlton went for a home win, West Ham, his former club, against Brighton, and they, of course, are 2-0 up courtesy of goals from Issa Diop and Robert Snodgrass. So, guys, the group bet... It's looking all right at half-time. We've been in worse positions at half-time.
Yeah?
We have definitely been in worse positions. A few questions, Doogie?
Yes.
What are people saying on social?
So Gooner 0101, just to look ahead to tomorrow's game between Arsenal and Burnley. They want to know, guys, do you think Arsenal could still finish in the top 4? At the moment, the difference is 11 points, but they've, riding a bit of momentum under Arteta. Do you think that could happen?
I think it's a long shot.
Yeah.
But since the new manager's been there, I think we've said it all day. He knows Arsenal. He knows what it means for Arsenal players to do well at Arsenal and what the fans want. And I think that's what he's bringing back. And you can see him on the up at the moment, but I think that's a big gap and a big ask for him.
Yeah. For sure. Carson, are you the same?
Yeah, I'm the same, really. I think it's a big ask to... I don't even think they're ready for that yet, to be honest.
Really?
I don't think they're ready for it. I think they need to build for another season and...
Have you been impressed by Arteta then?
Yeah, of course. He was a great player, and he's obviously gone and learnt his trade under a great manager as well. So he's definitely come into the fold confident that he can do the job. I think he's got to wait till the summer so he can bring in his own players and then try and build from there. But if he's going to go in now and start buying players in the transfer window, which it's not the right thing to do. You really want to set your stall out from the start of the season, and I think he'll be able to do that. And then next year, you'll be looking at the Champions League for him, I think.
I think he's a good manager, Arteta.
Yeah.
Similar to what you were saying about Scott Parker, both of you, Paul, you saying you saw it from an early age at 16. Yeah. I interviewed Mauricio Pochettino, this was about 18 months ago, and we were talking about best players he'd played with. And he was at PSG with Mikel Arteta, and Pochettino's quite a lot older than Arteta was. And he said the football brain he had on him as such a young player was just, he couldn't believe it. And he said he'll go on to become one of the best coaches he's seen. And that, for Mauricio Pochettino to say that, that is some praise.
Tried to get him as his assistant.
Yeah, so I think it's a good appointment for Arsenal. But we are at the half-time stage. So earlier on last week, I did catch up with James Maddison as he became the latest player to take on our FIFA Versus challenge. Here it is. We've done this feature before last season, so we've tried to mix it up a bit. 79 overall rating, so that is better than last season. Are you happy with that?
Honestly?
Go on, be honest.
I think it could be a couple notches higher.
What would you give yourself?
Oh, you can never win with that question. I'd say an 81.
An 81?
Yeah, an 81.
A lot of these have gone up, but one thing you were particularly unhappy with last year we did this was your shooting, which was 73. It's now 72.
My shooting last year was 73?
Yeah, it's 72 now.
And now it's 72?
Yeah.
I'd love to speak to the person who did that and ask why and get like a presentation on why it's gone down.
A presentation?
Yeah. I hope the relevant person's listening.
Okay, I think they will be actually. Something tells me they will be listening. Do you remember your first ever FIFA Ultimate Team card? Oh, close. 56. FIFA 15.
I can actually picture the picture that they used because obviously I was at Coventry, I just broke through. I was so happy to be on FIFA.
Yeah. Who's the highest rated player overall on FIFA 20?
Kasper Schmeichel?
It is Kasper Schmeichel, 83. Pereira and Vardy just behind with 82. So a tough one, but do you think they've got that one right?
Well, Kasper's the top keeper. I mean, you think he's got the most clean sheets in the league this year? I think. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So he's top keeper, so I don't think anyone could argue with that.
And Jamie Vardy just behind an 82. Top 3 rated Premier League strikers, interestingly. Kane and Aguero are 89 rated. Aubameyang's 88. So when you look at Vardy's overall rating, bearing in mind the season he's having as well, do you think that he's very underrated on FIFA?
Jamie Vardy is a world-class striker, in my opinion. I'm not just saying, I would never say that lightly because he's top goal scorer in the Premier League for a reason. You watch his goals, he scores all types of goals. He's not the biggest forward, but he scored, I think, the second most headers in the Premier League this year. He scores one-on-ones. He can score from range if he needs to because he's got good technique. He's a striker, especially as an attacking midfield player who you want to have in your team. Makes my life easy.
Do you know, you said that in every interview we've done, that Jamie Vardy makes your life easy.
It does because I always say, as a player, the type of player I am, when I like to get turned and play them killer passes and get assists and stuff, he's always on his bike and he knows he comes alive when I get the ball. So, and if you ask Youri Tielemans, Dennis Pratt, they'll say the same thing. Such a clever striker and should be held in more high regard at the EA complex, I think, with an 82 rating.
Okay, I love the way you answered that. Next up, who is the best passer in the Leicester squad?
I think it will be either myself or Youri Tielemans.
Correct. It's a bit of a trick question because it's both of you. 82.
Okay. Spot on then, right?
Spot on, yeah, exactly.
I was about to say that actually.
How do you? I'm not going to ask who's better at passing or anything because it involves yourself. But how do your traits differ in terms of passing between you? Would you say?
I'm not sure. We play a very similar position. We both play as a number 8, so we're both. I'd like to think we're both quite gifted off both feet passing, and we create a lot of chances amongst the two of us. Yeah, I think Yuri's right up there and rightly deserves top spot.
How happy were you when Leicester City signed him?
So happy. It almost made a statement of intent, you know.
To the rest of the league?
To the rest of the league, to us as players, seeing Youri Tielemans come in, because he was fantastic when he came in last year and we all wanted to see him sign, and we made no mistake about that. I even put a post on Instagram saying, of me and him hugging, saying, I'm not letting go until you sign, bro. He's a top player. He'll show Leicester fans what he's about in years to come. So, yeah, like I said, pleasure to play with him.
Yeah, OK, next up. Who is the fastest player at Leicester?
I don't think it is.
In terms of pace?
I don't think it is Jamie Vardy this year. It could be, though.
because we have some quick players. We signed James Justin in the summer, and he's rapid from Luton. He's a very good player as well, but he is absolutely rapid. But I'm not sure how much knowledge the FIFA experts will have of James Justin's pace.
It was Jamie Vardy last season we did this.
Yeah. And the way you said that makes me think it's not him.
I'll give you a clue. It's now 2 players that are equal with the same rating.
Okay, is one of them Jamie Vardy?
Yes, it is. Who do you think the other one is?
James Justin.
No, Damari Gray.
Makes sense, yeah.
So Justin, Gray, Vardy, if they all had a race, who's the quickest player at Leicester for you?
I think James Justin is the quickest, yeah. Vardy's rapid, but I think James Justin in a 100-metre sprint race, no football involved, just there. Them 3 are probably top 3, but I think I'm going to go with JJ, you know.
Okay, wow.
He'll be buzzing that I've said that as well.
Love that. Similar one. You answered this very easily last season, but I'm intrigued to know if you think it's the same player, slowest at the club.
Where's Morgan?
He was 30 last year, pace.
What is
He's
he?
29 now.
Oh, God. Has he lost 1% of pace?
He wasn't happy. We saw he put that tweet out, famous tweet.
Do you know what, though? He's not as slow as people think. He's a powerful boy, so when he gets going, he can pick up some speed. And obviously, FIFA are so harsh in what pace ratings they give defenders in general. But Wes is quicker than he lets on, I think. So I have to back my captain.
I like the way he said when he gets going, he's quick, almost like right off the first time.
I didn't say that. I was saying that.
And they did release that video. Leicester released that very good video.
Yeah, I know, that was hilarious.
Disproving it's good, wasn't it?
I think he was blowing after that because he had to run one lengthy push to the other. But it was a good video, I remember seeing it. Last
time we spoke, of course, unfortunately I had to reveal to you that you were the weakest player in the Leicester squad. Strength rating of 39 on FIFA 19. What is your new strength rating?
It can't have gone down.
It's not down, no.
Okay.
It was 39.
It was 39.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that it's 46.
It's 49?
49, got up 10.
Yeah. Are you happy with that?
Well, I know when you were filming with Ards earlier, you see me in the background in the gym, putting hard yards in. I know you've all seen it. So hopefully we can go up another 10 to 59 next year.
Still the weakest player, though. I think like they're doing you.
Am I the weakest player still?
Yeah.
No chance. Let's get the squad in there now, and we'll go and do dumbbell press and see.
I'd love to do that. Can you sort that out?
No, I've got a shoot.
Top man, love James Maddison, such a top bloke, top player as well. He's not happy that he's the weakest player in the squad, saying let's get the gym challenge. I'd love to have seen that. But Carl, on a serious note, he's a very good player, isn't he? Is he someone that you'd expect to be, we think he'll be in the squad, but do you think he should be starting for England? Because there's a lot of competition in that area for England, isn't there?
Yeah, he's got a lot of competition there, but I think he'd definitely be up there in the manager's thoughts that if you want that sort of player to be unlocking defences, he's the one that's going to be able to do that. And it's just good to be that healthy in that position now.
Yeah.
We only had a few back in the day, and now we've got quite an array of talent coming through.
Paul, James Maddison, a fan of his?
Yeah, love him. I think technically with the ball is unreal. Can see a pass, and like Coley said, he can open up defences, and I think in the Euros, and that's what we're going to need. And hopefully he can get a few more assists towards the back end of this season and push the manager to hopefully get us in the starting 11 for England.
Yeah, he's having a very, very good season.
What do you think, Mason Mount or Maddison?
Ooh.
Oh, Maddison.
Yeah?
I'd play Maddison and Grealish because I think they're like two different players.
You've got Dele Alli, you've got Grealish, you've got Mount, you've got...
Grealish, so direct.
It's a good problem for England
I like
to have.
the way you brought Dele up there.
Yeah, can't forget about that.
I like the way you brought him up.
Yeah.
No, because the first few games under Mourinho, he'd come back and everyone was thinking he may be back to himself, but it looks like now Harry Kane's not even involved. The eyes are on him, and he needs
to come up.
I'd agree with that.
To step up.
And the role that he's playing under Jose compared to what he's playing under Poch, more advanced now, plays as a 10. He's having a good run, but obviously it'd be interesting to see how that develops for the England squad. And these are the live shots we can give you at Anfield. So it was 0-0, Paul, half-time. Interesting hearing your assessment of the first half. Don't think Liverpool played badly, but Southampton frustrating them was the word you used. Don't expect any changes yet, but do you think Klopp might look to his bench if it's still 0-0 in 10-15 minutes? Just remind us who's on the bench.
I think, especially the 60-minute mark, I think Origi will be on and maybe take Oxlade-Chamberlain off and maybe go for a bit more firepower up top.
Mane's, I mean, it seems like an obvious thing to say, but Mane not playing.
It's a massive
big
miss.
loss.
Yeah, it's a massive miss. Just how quick he is, and the goals he scores and assists he makes. He's a big loss, but
I think as well the break. When Liverpool on the break is a thing it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
And when Mane's on the pitch on the break, he's so quick. Like it's a massive miss for them just to have that impetus going forward on the break.
And he's decided so many games like this season already. I think he got the winner that last time these two plays. I remember the Villa game. Leicester, he won a penalty late on as well.
Yeah.
So crucial in these big moments. He's been the one that's like really stepped up.
Yeah.
But guys, we've had a question in from Pennywise, talking a bit about technical players there in Madison. But they want to know who was the best technician that you guys played with at any of your clubs.
Oh, I like that.
For me, the best technician has got to be. Well, I had a few that I played with. You'd probably say Di Canio, maybe. But I'd say Zola for me.
Oh, Charles and Danny Ings! Oh, I'll tell you what, they're appealing for a penalty.
VAR.
Paul, Danny Ings was through. I don't know if he just slipped.
I don't know if he stumbled,
opinion for a penalty. Not given by the ref.
I think he's gone through and he's stumbled just as he's got through.
Goal for Brighton!
Oh no, I wasn't watching.
Cole, what happened?
I don't know. I didn't see. Is that own goal?
Two big moments in our two feature games. We'll come back to Cole in a minute while we let you watch the replay. Paul, let's go to Anfield. Oh! Big goal for Liverpool! Walker-Cheski!
They've just gone from one end from Southampton to nearly scoring to the other end where it's nearly gone off. Robertson's kept the ball in, played it to Oxlade-Chamberlain's come inside and driven it in the bottom right-hand corner. So 1-0 Liverpool.
Two incidents to discuss. Firstly, Southampton's penalty appeal. Right decision for you. Do you think he just slipped?
I think he slipped, yeah. But they've gone the other end and scored.
And Danny Ings is chatting to Klopp. He's not happy, is he?
Here we go here.
Here's the replay.
He's gone through the middle of them.
What do you think, Carlton? Penalty for you. He's not happy, Danny Ings. Straight down the other end. And the ball is in the back of the net for Liverpool. Southampton not happy.
It's Robertson again. It's backheel. It's nice. It's nice. It's tasty.
And it's a lovely finish from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Here we go.
Great touches from Robertson and Firmino in the build-up there. Little flick-ons, comes inside.
And once again,
we said it at half-time, how quick they can break Liverpool.
Carlton said that's thing of beauty, described it as.
Yeah.
And it just proves there.
A lot of people saying Liverpool have had a fortune with regards to VAR this season. I'm not saying I'm one of them, I'm saying people have said that.
I've said that.
You said that, there you go, Carlton said that. And the goal stands, and it is no penalty. To be honest, it didn't look like a clear penalty, did it really, for Ings? But there was some contact. We need to see that again to see if
there was intent there, I think.
You think?
I think.
Yeah, Fabinho's put his foot out.
He's gone like that.
Oh no! Here they go now.
And Liverpool now looking for a second goal. And the challenge. Carl, we've got to give an update of your game as well, the other feature game.
I don't really
Ball in the back of the net. It's West Ham 2, Brighton 1. What happened?
I don't want to talk about that, mate. I'm not going to lie.
You've got to. It's your role on the show.
I know. But it's just, it's a corner kick. I think there was a bit of confusion, and it's hit Ogbonna.
Yeah.
I think he was facing that way. It's hit the back of his head and gone into the net. So it's something that he wasn't actually aware of. It's unfortunate now, but we got the boy. Antonio could have scored again. But yeah, it's against the run of play at the moment.
Yeah.
I think all we need to look at now is making sure that we don't concede again.
And of course, West Ham flying 2-0 over. Plain sailing.
Off the bar!
I'll come to you in a minute, Will Brazier, plain sailing. And now, so early on in the second half, this is where the crowd, you're talking about the West Ham fans now passionately are, this is where it will start getting a bit nervous in the stadium, won't it?
Yeah, it's going to get nervous at this stage, but I think the crowd can understand that we need them right now to push us over the line. And you've got Antonio running behind, making sure that we're putting the defence under pressure, so we should be all right.
Off the bar at the Vitality Stadium, Will.
Yeah, ball was bouncing around in the area and it came up perfectly to Lerma, wrapped his foot around it, leant over it, perfect technique, and it's hit the top of the bar and bounced over. Could have been 3-0 to Bournemouth.
So let's give you the update of today's games. Leicester 2, Chelsea 2. That was the early kick-off. 2 goals from Rudiger, Harvey Barnes and Ben Chilwell. Interesting game, one. 2-2 that finish. It's currently Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 0 goals with Philip Billing from 37 and Nathan Ake on 44. It is Palace 0, Sheffield United 0. Liverpool have just scored against Southampton, as we revealed 2 minutes into the second half. Liverpool 1, Southampton 0, thanks to the Ox. Still Newcastle 0, Norwich 0. It's a 4-goal thriller currently at Vicarage Road. Watford 2, Everton 2, Messina and Pereira for Watford. And then 2 goals in additional time for Everton in the 46th minute and the 49th minute, both from Yerry Mina. So a dreadful spell of injury time for Watford. It's currently 2-2 in that game. West Ham 2, Brighton 1, Issajik, Robert Snodgrass and Angela Ogbonna just scoring for Brighton to make that one a little bit tasty. Man United versus Wolves is the evening kickoff live on Sky, of course. Doogie, let's go back to socials.
Yes, get your questions into the comment sections of the Soccer M and Football Daily live streams with the hashtag #TheFootballSocial and ask the best ones for the panellists. Make sure you're subscribed to both channels as well. Next one comes in from...
card at Bournemouth, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Doogie, we have to pause that red card.
Yeah, Lerma didn't score and now he's been sent off. Not linked, but he's come in.
He's not learned his lesson.
Thank you. Don't give him.
Don't worry, Will. I'll carry you. Go on, carry on.
Jack Grealish, but it's an off-the-ball incident. Grealish has gone round.
Let's get the guys to speak to this.
No, that's nothing.
Oh, it might be a second yellow, I'm being told by Phil.
They're not happy because they're
not really
crowding
even
the
a yellow.
referee. Lerma is not happy at all, is he? They're crowding the referee.
That's
Eddie Howe
for me, that's
Bloody hell.
is on the touchline.
he's just gone past him and almost ran into him. Obviously, Grealish is he's fallen down, and that's led to.
But does the red card stand? Are they down to 10 men, Will?
Yeah, they're down to 10 men. Definitely a second yellow. So you're the Stockley Park expert. That they can't review a second yellow. No.
Tell me what's happened, and I'll be able to answer the question.
He's on a yellow.
Yeah.
Push someone over. They're giving him a second yellow.
It's a second yellow. Chance for Palace. Oh, Will, we're missing the chance for Palace.
Pookie's in it. Oh.
He's not happy, is he? Look at the
What,
scene.
you'd be
not happy.
spitting feathers.
Yeah,
Nothing happened.
Not a yellow.
Not a yellow for you, Carlton.
No.
I think if the referee just needs to calm himself down there, and if he takes his time, he'd realise it was just.
long throw.
Antonio's down. This is
Long
not
throw
good
for West
for
Ham.
us.
Absolutely devastating for Bournemouth as well. Such a big game for them. 2-0
Massive game.
Looking to win their second game in a row for, I think, the first time all season in the Premier League. And,
Almost the whole second half.
Down to 10 men.
Just confirm what's going on at Bournemouth, because it is all go.
Yeah, well, the free kick has been whipped in, and then the keeper came, it bounced up in the air, and Engels, who interestingly came on as a half-time sub for Ponta, which I think is tactical, after being 2-0 down.
Antonio's injury.
And it's still 2-0. Bournemouth are down to 10 men.
So Engels missed the chance.
Oh, he's been punched in the head by
So they won't be loving Engels instead, then.
No, that's better. That's
Thank
fantastic.
Thank you, Paul Kucheski. Loved it. There we go. Doogie, let's go back to you, because you did have questions.
Yes,
rudely
I had a
interrupted.
question from Connor Bulcombe, who wanted to know, I think it was in light of Oxlade-Chamberlain scoring a goal in that game at Anfield. They wanted to know, how long does it take to get back up to speed after a long-term injury?
Good question.
It does. So when you are injured, you're doing all your rehab, you're staying, but there's nothing. It's nothing like a game. So if you've had a long-term injury, you can do all the running, long straight line running, twisting and turning, have as much training as possible. But when you get onto that pitch, there's nothing else like it. You're breathing. You are breathing hard.
I think it takes 4 or 5 games to. 4 or 5 games to get up to match speed.
Yeah. To get to peak level, 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Would say.
Even on a really serious one, you could be back that quickly. It wouldn't take more like a couple of months. I don't know.
Because I think you're playing practice games and all that, but once you start playing Premier League Cup games, I think 2-0.
Oh, another big goal!
Salah.
Salah.
He knows.
Offside.
He knows.
Paul took us through what would have been a big goal. The flag is up at Anfield.
They just attack so quick.
Yeah.
Salah runs through it early, but
tight.
great ball for Firmino. And
Now, VAR will check this, of course. Lovely finish, Paul, isn't it?
it's a lovely
Salah.
finish. And I
Through the
think
legs, Carlton, like you said.
I think this is quite tight, guys, you know. I think this is very tight. They're checking the disallowed goal. VAR, they've got the lines out at Stockley Park.
Ooh.
Ball's in the back of the net, but this is very close.
Is his chest offside, though? Is there anything?
We're looking.
Offside.
No goal.
No goal.
So the original decision does stand.
Southampton are still in it
1-0.
then, I think. I think if Liverpool get that goal, then I think it's game over. But Southampton have come out this second half, even though they're 1 down. They're going for Liverpool a little bit. They keep trying to attack and attack and attack.
So it's still 1-0 to Liverpool in that game. We'll just quickly round up the results currently, the scores currently in your game, because it's been quite a lively start to the second half on the Football Social.
Yes, it's Watford 2, Everton 2. Not much since that absolute drama and chaos that ended the first half there. Everton were 2-0 up, but Watford have brought it back with those 2 injury time goals. Also, Newcastle are drawing 0-0 with Norwich, but Norwich have played pretty well. Yeah. Crystal Palace, Sheffield United 0-0, and Bournemouth are 2-0 up, but Bournemouth are now down to 10 men. Jack Grealish falling to the floor after free header there from I think it was Max Aarons, but Bournemouth 2. Down to 10 men. Lerma's been sent off for a second yellow.
OK, a couple of incidents to bring you. Chance West Ham. Carlton, quickly, there was a big injury on Antonio, and I saw your face. You were wincing when you saw it, but he's back on his feet, and he had a good chance there.
Yeah, that's the thing about Antonio, because he's really delicate at the moment, and he's probably our go-to guy that's giving us all this energy today. And look, he's playing so well, so I really don't want to see him down on that field. It makes me wince.
He's having a good game, isn't he?
He's had a great game today, and I think if he carries on, he'll notch a goal. But it's
big goal for West Ham! That man again,
mate, these boys are doing me proud today, man. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so happy.
Snodgrass, 2 goals, and he's having a big game for West Ham when they need him.
He's having a massive game for us today, and he's come in the fold, and he's just making sure that everything he hits is going on target. And look, and we're reaping the benefits. What a volley again. He's had 2 volleys today, one from inside the box, one from outside the box. There's another deflection.
Tiny deflection.
We'll take it again, it's not a problem. He meant that.
He meant the deflection. What I like about this, Carlton, and you'll be better placed to tell me than I am, it's a big deflection.
Pretty big, yeah.
But it's almost... It's coming from behind his body, so it's very hard to set yourself in that position and keep the ball down.
Nah, he's got technique for days, this guy. Really intelligent player. He's physical as well. He likes to run, but you can see on his technique there, he's just got it to a T. Great left foot.
Yeah, we were hearing...
Goal!
What happened?
Sheffield United, corners come in, I think.
Big goal, first goal of the day at Sellers Park, Will.
Yeah, I don't know who scored it. Basically, it's gone to the referee. He's had a little buzz on his arm. It's not an Apple smartwatch. He's got a text message. It's actually a goal that's been received down there. I don't know who it was. Gaeta's got the ball in his hand, so I don't know if he's carried it over the line. We're waiting for the replay. But as things stand, it's Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1. They go again.
Snodgrass, interestingly, 2 goals and an assist, so big match for Robert Snodgrass. Here we're just having a look at... keeper!
That is absolutely day one. Goalkeeper Scott. Yeah, it's an own goal, Gaeta. He's almost carried it into his own net.
This is one the keeper will not want to watch again.
There's no hand in his face. There's no push at all. It's just terrible goal.
That's devastating, because he's had a really solid season for Crystal Palace as well.
Well, you can forget all that, Doogie, because he's ruined it now.
Here we go, Khan, look at this.
Is one of the best in the Premier
League. Straight from a corner, the keeper just drops it.
That stinks of Roberto, that does.
Don't go that far.
Let's not go that far. To be honest, I like Roberto as a guy, but he's had a stinker when he came over here, didn't he? Sometimes it just doesn't go for you. And I heard he's quite a decent goalkeeper.
Right.
Just didn't.
Who said that? His dad?
Here we go. I'm not getting involved with all of that stuff, but yeah.
Corner for Southampton. Ball whipped in.
Mate, Liverpool better watch out, you know, because...
Carlton, on Liverpool as well, I just want to get your thoughts, because we saw your reaction. We saw a slow-mo of the Danny Ings penalty. Now, bear in mind, this was about a minute before Liverpool put the ball in the back of the net, the only goal of the game. Do you think Southampton should have had a penalty in this game?
Yes, I do.
You do?
For sure. Initially, he's gone past him, and he's actually stretched his leg out while he's...
Carry on, Carlton. We'll come to you in a minute.
I'm thinking it's the definite intent there to bring the player down. So I think it's a pen for
me. Do you think that it was the delayed fall that might have worked against him? Because there was initial contact and then he stayed on his feet and it was almost like a delayed fall that created doubt in the referee's mind?
Maybe, but I just see the intent. And if we're going to look at it from VAR point of perspective, it's a penalty for me.
OK, Will, you're off your feet.
Yes.
Very animated as you always are. What has happened?
Yeah,
he's gone for
there's one at St James's Park. Norwich really well worked down the left-hand side. Comes to Pookie, think he's going to shoot. Plays it to Cantwell, who immediately Cruyff turns, but he knows the tackle's coming, dives, and the contacts come after he's dived.
He was already on the way down.
Yeah. He's a cheeky boy, Cantwell, with a cheeky haircut. And Danny Welbeck has come on for Watford. First appearance since October for him.
OK, thank you for that. You mentioned Norwich and you mentioned Pookie and you mentioned Cantwell, because whenever you mention Norwich, you seem to always mention Pookie and Cantwell.
Henderson!
Pookie... I'll do the stat in a minute. Woo! Because Liverpool are on the march to the Premier League title. It's a big goal. Paul Konchesky, in all your glory, talk us through it for your former club.
Massive goal. The keeper's tries to kick it long, but it's reached the halfway line. Liverpool cut it out. Straight to Firmino, pulls it back, and Henderson. Spoke about him earlier. Don't really get many goals, but he's already forward. He's ended up staying forward. Stayed in the box, and Firmino's picked him out and made it 2-0 Liverpool.
So it's a big goal for Liverpool.
Look at that space he's in.
A lot of space for Henderson. Cool, calm, collected finish. Liverpool
Great
2.
finish though, yeah.
Southampton 0. We've got a VAR incident in Watford versus Everton, which is 2-2. What is going on there, Will?
Honestly, mate, absolutely nothing. Delph's put a tackle in, not touched the man, got the ball, and we've had a VAR check. James, gone.
That was it.
Thank you very much, Will. We're talking about Norwich and the influence of Cantwell and Pookie. Early on, Pookie 11, Cantwell 6 have scored, listen to this, Carlton, 17 of Norwich's 24 Premier League goals this season between 2 players. So that means that the rest of Norwich's team have only scored 7 goals between them. So they're very reliant upon those 2 players.
Yeah.
They've got to stay fit if they've got
They
any
need
chance.
to stay. If they've got any chance of staying up, they need to stay fit. And it's a lot of pressure on those 2 boys as well. So let's just hope they stay fit, man, because it doesn't bode well for the rest of the team.
On Pookie, former striker yourself, he's scored penalties in his last 2 games. 11 goals in 23 Premier League appearances. For a team that are bottom of the table, that's a good return, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But you can still get relegated on that form. I think I had one of my best returns in the season, but we got relegated. The season we got relegated in 2011, I had one of my best returns goal-wise in the Premier League, but got relegated.
So you go to defence going,
me personally, I had a good season in my eyes, but it didn't mean anything.
You knock on the defender's door going, come on lads, help us out of it.
No, I wouldn't blame it on the defenders. Look,
What a save!
What happens across the board, but for me personally, I had a good season. But that doesn't mean anything when you're losing.
You'd much rather.
What's it like when you're like in the Pookie position of you're the main provider of goals, and your teammates are sort of looking at you for inspiration? What's it like having that pressure on you? Does it sort of weigh you down?
You want to be in that position because that means you're the main man.
Save!
And I think there's a lot of players that might fold under that sort of pressure. But I was one that always wanted to prove myself. I've got this role and I'm going to try my best to make it happen for the team, first and foremost, and then myself.
Great mentality.
Yeah.
OK, so I feel like the Watford-Everton game is one to particularly keep an eye on. 2-2, been a few incidents in that game. You saw VAR. It's an interesting game down at Vicarage Road, Will.
Yeah, chances at Crystal Palace as well. Wilfried Zaha did some great work, and then I think it was a shot from Christian Benteke that was brilliantly saved by Dean Henderson.
How's Benteke doing lately?
Pookie's just had a great chance for St James's Park. What's that, Carl?
Benteke, is he?
He's been playing all right, to be fair.
He was linked with a move back to Villa in January, but just didn't.
He got a new contract, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, that's some great.
Missed his last 7 games with the muscle strain. We'll come to you in a minute, Paul. On Benteke. Last 7 games, he's missed the muscle strain, scored just 1 goal in his last 37 club appearances.
Crazy.
But scored 3 in his last 3 for Belgium. 21 goals, 106 for Palace.
That's shocking.
Sorry, Paul, I rudely interrupted you. Southampton?
Yeah, they're still on the front foot. Great block from Gomez.
Is that?
What was that noise?
Off the line.
There's a lot of weird noises.
Have you not met Weird Noise, Will?
No.
That is what he's expecting. Go on, give us a weird noise, Will. What happened, Will?
Jackie Grealish down the right-hand side, on his right, he switched wings and played it across to Matty Target, who scored in the week, but the keeper, I think, made a great save, and they've got a corner.
So it was on target?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just a couple I throw out there every now and again. So Jack Grealish has been very live in this game. They're currently losing. West Ham will not want to see.
Who's that?
That strike again.
That was in Camber, not so marvellous there from him, Smithy. Marvellous.
Yeah, no, good.
You have to know your football for that
Solid,
one.
yeah,
You have to really know your football.
Doogie, let's go back to your social corner. The 64th minute mark of the football social.
Yes, we've got a question in, and keep them coming in the comment section of both the streams, and make sure you subscribe to Soccer AM and Football Daily. But one of the big signings of the window is Steven Bergwijn joining Spurs. From Dex88, he wants to know, Smithy, I suppose it probably makes sense for you to take this one.
Okay.
What do you make of this signing? Is it what you needed?
No.
Two answers to that, because there's two parts to that question. What do I make of that signing? I'm not going to pretend to know loads about him because I do know a little bit about him, but I think I'm pleased with that signing because he's got real pace, which I think is something Spurs need. I like the fact that he's quite versatile as well. He's a winger but can play up front. Goals. So I like the signing, but the second part of that was, is it what Spurs needed? And being brutally honest, Spurs needed an out-and-out striker, possibly fullbacks as well, over a player in that position. So pleased with the signing, but amazed that Spurs, you know, I don't think it wasn't for lack of trying, but disappointed that weren't able to get a striker over the line, because I think that is an area where Spurs are, well, I mean, I don't know if you agree, but it's an area Tottenham are very light on.
Didn't you go in for Giroud?
And Piontek.
Giroud, Piontek,
I didn't think
William
Giroud was
Jose.
going to happen. Chelsea to Tottenham never happens.
I just think you knew Harry Kane was out from the
Harry Kane was injured
on
the 1st of January, correct?
So you've got a whole month to try and sign a forward and leave it to the last day. So
Was that William Jose?
William Jose, and I don't know if you read the quotes from William Jose, who's at Real Sociedad, almost apologising to his own fan base, because when the move came in, he actually came out and said, "Oh, it's my dream to play in the Premier League. It's a chance to play Champions League football." And when it didn't happen, the Sociedad fans, he had to say, "Look, I wasn't disrespecting you," but what I took from that was he was desperate for that move to happen.
Of course.
So the disappointing thing is that when players want the move, and it can't be agreed, Piontek was a one that AC Milan wanted to get rid of, that there were players available, but for whatever reason a deal didn't happen. So I think it is a worry with Kane being out that Spurs weren't able to get a striker. And people compare it to Man United, but I always say Man United have Martial and Greenwood still fit. You know, Spurs have got less options in that position. Than Man United do, although they have a lot of very talented...
Well, I was going to go back to you, because you say about the boy, maybe loads of assists. Who's going to be the other end?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
I know Son, maybe, but...
Fair point. I think he'll either play more Son as a false nine. I think, I don't know if you saw on social media, but Harry Kane is in doing his rehab.
Yeah, I've seen,
a few people suggest he does have a history of coming back early, but then is that a risk? Because he has had injuries in the past for his long term, because he plays a lot of games, Harry Kane. So, but I do get that it's very difficult to bring strikers. I think one thing I took from the whole of deadline day was how difficult it is to bring players in for any of the clubs.
For any club,
particularly strikers. But yeah, so that was how I'd answer that question. But I'm excited about it. And Jose alluded to that I think he will be in the squad for tomorrow's game, you know, first game against City, so he's straight in.
Nice.
And of course, that is what we are showing on the Football Social tomorrow.
Indeed.
So
Come back for that.
Big show. Any more questions, Doogie?
Yeah,
questions today.
Crazy Frog has asked, so there's only a 4-point gap between Man United in 5th and Newcastle in 14th, which is quite rare for this stage of the season. Why do you guys think that is? Do you think the big teams have got worse, or has there been a general improvement in the quality of the smaller teams than previous years?
I think both. I think some of the big teams are not playing to what we know of them. Like, some of these teams are definitely underperforming.
Oi!
And then you've got teams that you're not expecting to do well, doing well. Sheffield United, all these teams that actually you'd have written off at the start of the season are actually doing well, and that's because money. So the bridge that used to be with money, like now we can go and buy a good player. So look at who did thing just buy. That was quite surprising, because the teams were all over him.
Which
club?
Sorry.
Oh, I've forgotten who it was now.
It's tough when you say who's the thing. The club and the player.
You said it at the start. It's a striker.
Agallo for Man United.
Yeah. So Agallo, obviously, you would have never thought Man United would go for a player like that about 4 or 5 years ago, but now they are. So it's just showing you the golfing gap, and he used to play for Watford. And it's not like he's improved vastly to get to the Man United standard, the Man United that we know and love. But at the end of the day, the golfing class is close enough.
Yeah, I think it could also be like the standard of managers. Like Pep and Klopp seem so far above the rest, and it kind of reflects that on the table, with Rodgers probably just behind. But Arsenal are now managed by a novice. Chelsea are now managed by a novice. Man United, it's pretty much a novice, bar a short spell at Cardiff and Mulder. So like the standard of manager just really reflects the table, and you've got managers like Nuno Espirito Santo and Wilder doing fantastic jobs. So the gap just seems to have...
But you say the standard of manager, I just think it's managers that are just been given a chance now. Like the unknown is being given a chance at top clubs, and it's quite refreshing to see that, because now people are going to be getting chances. So it inspires young coaches or young managers that maybe retiring out of the game to try and think that they've got a career in the game.
Goal! Ball's in the back of the net.
We'll go to Will Brazier first before we go to Paul. Lot to talk about. Will, goal!
Yes, goal for Aston Villa, the first ever man from Tanzania to score. It's Samatta on his Premier League debut.
On his debut?
Ball comes in, Premier League debut. He had his chance in the League Cup, didn't score. Jack Grealish with the shot. No, it's a ball in, and it's Keelan Davis that works it. Ball gets knocked up in the air, and Samatta throws himself into that danger zone. And it's 2-1 with Bournemouth down to 10
Bournemouth down
men.
to 10 men, 2-1. It'll be interesting to see how that one unfolds. Big match at the bottom of the table.
Yes.
And it's a Premier League debut goal. First person from Tanzania to score, which I believe is the 117th different nationality to play in the Premier League. I think I saw that earlier. And it's a big goal. Paul, double substitution for Southampton, taking, was it both their strikers coming off?
Yeah, they brought Obafemi on and Che Adams.
Yeah, and Ings and Long, both off.
Both gone off.
Surprised with Danny Ings coming off.
Red card!
Liverpool in here. Salah's in.
Oh, Mo Salah.
Clever finish.
All Liverpool now.
What that celebration, just a little.
Paul Konchesky, it's another 3 points for the Reds.
Yeah,
it is, yeah. It's
Mo Salah,
talking about taking two forwards off one end, and then Liverpool's forward goes and scores. A great finish from Salah. And I can honestly say now it's game over at Anfield.
Lovely little dink as well, isn't it? Long ball, straight down the end from Alisson. There's a red card at Palace, and a lot still going on at Palace, and it comes in a bit. But this dink finish.
It's a lovely finish.
Oh.
You fancy him all the time there.
Oh, no. Not having that.
And a
nice ball from Henderson as well.
So
great finish.
So it's 3-0 now, Geese.
Huh?
3-0 now.
Good point, Carlton.
That Southampton shout was like...
You've ruined the bet. If you just joined us on the Football Social, Will said he thought Southampton
had a chance.
At half-time was giving it the big one.
They did have a chance.
And Carlton quite rightly pointing out...
They had one chance, that's what they had in the game.
VAR,
They've done well, to be fair.
Red card. Will, talk us through what's been going on at Selhurst Park. Big moment in the game.
It's a red card to Joel Ward. Oh, the referee's going to have a look at the box.
Oh, he's going to the RRA, which is the referee's review area.
Remember where you were, what you were doing. This is a dramatic, monumentous moment. The referee at Crystal Palace, who's Andrew Madley, is watching the box. I'm watching a man watch a TV while you watch me watch the TV.
Big save in the Palace. The Sheffield United fans are intrigued to know what Andrew Madley's going to do. The Palace fans will be madly hoping that he overturns this and doesn't rule them a red card, Will.
Something's happened at...
They are checking it.
Well.
And it's again involving Crystal Palace. The ref goes to the monitor. Red card was given. He's looked at the monitor. What is the decision, Will?
He's doing a long, patient walk. This is like the Masked Singer, where we have a lot of drama. The referee, what does this mean, Smithy?
He's off.
He's off, mate.
He's off.
No, he's overruled it, I think.
He's overruled it, just the yellow.
Just the yellow?
He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Wow. Joel Ward breathes a sigh of relief,
I would have been down the tunnel.
So red card was given originally.
It wasn't.
The ref went to the referee's review area, the monitor. He's overturned it, and Joel Ward looks very relieved there.
That must be bizarre for the play. He's halfway down the tunnel. He's about to turn on the tap for the team fast, and he's back on.
Well, the interesting one was we spoke about Harry Kane's injury earlier.
Red card.
That actually happened when he scored a goal, and they took him down the tunnel whilst they were looking at it for offside. So it could have been that they'd given a goal to the player that wasn't even on the pitch.
I've got a red card.
It did stand because it wasn't offside. Another red card, Will Brazier!
Fabian Delph for a second yellow. This one will not be checked or looked at. It's a silly challenge down in the corner. Did need to make it. Delph, an experienced pro, knows he didn't need to make the challenge, and he is walking.
He's lost
at
his head.
2-2.
It's been a lot of naughty.
Norwich are in. Pookie! Saved by the broadcaster line!
Oh,
Goes back out!
Side
Denny McLean, take your time!
And he's hit the side netting.
What is he doing?
Chance for Brighton!
No!
Oh, it's a goal! Big goal for Brighton, Carlton Cole! He's only been describing the West Ham goals. He hasn't been describing the Brighton goals. He's going to have to describe this one. What on earth has happened at West Ham, Carlton?
The ball's ended up at the back there's a long ball. We've not cleared our lines. We're messing and dilly-dallying.
Oh, clear the
Looks like
line.
they've changed their shape again, West Ham.
Yeah, we've changed our... So we've gone...
One of you...
We've got Diop's trying to do a backwards header. Diving backwards
the
header.
ball is one of the slowest Ball's reaching the back of the net that I've seen. It's almost like it goes in slow motion. Massive mix-up at the back.
Massive mix-up.
And the ball just trickles into the side netting.
That is one of the worst bits of defending I've ever seen in Premier League history.
Ever.
Look at this.
That is remarkable. That will be on blooper DVDs for years
He's lucky he's got a goal, Diop. Oh, I dragged him.
David Moyes does not look happy. West Ham plain sailing.
Absolutely.
You were up on your feet. You were celebrating 2-0. All West Ham. You said if West Ham get the first goal, it looks like plain sailing. They got the first 2 goals.
How long we got left?
But it's 2-2. And Brighton on the attack again, Carlton.
Is that George Boyd?
Listen,
That's what I thought.
We're in the 75th minute. 15 minutes remaining.
and we've taken off Mikel Antonio as well. That makes it worse.
Are you starting to worry about this game now?
I am starting to worry again.
And you look at the other results as well, and this is a game West Ham can't lose given their fixture list as well.
Look, we can't draw. We need to win this game. It's not even a draw situation here. So, and I think we changed our shape to go a bit defensive. Look, we're inviting the pressure now. This is not what we need.
Suddenly Brighton again on the attack, and it's a Brighton corner. Meanwhile, another game. I haven't watched it as detailed as you, so I can't fully say this, Paul, but it looks like from where I'm sitting, it is all Liverpool at the minute.
All Liverpool, Swiftly. Mo Salah's having a fantastic 5 minutes. He's absolutely taking the mickey out of some of the defenders now.
Who would you say has been, if you had to award the man of the match, standout player? Henderson looks like he's played well. Salah.
Jordan's done well. He's broke a lot of things up, scored a goal, and he's kept that Liverpool midfield together.
We're all too deep. Look at this.
West Ham's next 3 away fixtures: Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. That's their next 3 away fixtures. Doogie,
yeah, we've
back
got
to you,
a question.
in the middle of that.
We've got a question in from Themba Saliki, who wants to know: do you think Liverpool have a good chance of winning a Champions League and Premier League double?
Yeah.
I think
Definitely, innit?
how they're playing this season, the confidence is so high.
Yeah.
We all know the Champions League is really, really tough, like the Premier League, but at the moment they're running away with the Premier League, so they could put all their eggs in one basket and go for the Champions League as well. And they're the oldest, so they've got a great chance to do the double.
Yeah, I mean, what's the gap at the moment? 19 points. They could be in a position where they could rest players for the Premier League, play full strength in the Champions League.
Yeah. I think with their squad anyway, even if they do rest, it doesn't weaken. And I think over the years you see that with the league winning teams, even when they rest, they don't weaken it doesn't weaken their squad. So, and Liverpool are like that. Oh God, it's 4-0.
Wow. Liverpool with some absolutely delightful football. It's a big save. Well, it's a good save. It wouldn't have made much difference to the outcome, we don't think, with this only under 15 minutes left at the dangerous clears. Quickly wrap up the scores on the doors. Leicester 2, Chelsea 2 was our early kick-off. It's currently Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1, Liverpool...
No, handball!
And it's another goal! Glenn Murray!
It's a handball!
And that is the equaliser. It's West Ham 3, Brighton 2. The ball is in the back of the net. It's a big equaliser. Carlton, what is going on at West Ham?
Handball, surely. Yeah, don't try and celebrate like that, bruv. Don't try and
Glenn Murray is not happy. They're going to look at VAR. Michael Oliver is...
It's a handball. It's hit his hand, man.
It is a goal. We said it was 2-2. Of course, it was 3-2 prior to this West Ham. So much going on, we can't keep track of all the goals. 3-2 is the current score at West Ham, but Glenn Murray has the ball in the back of the net. It's going to VAR, Carlton. Will this equaliser stand?
I don't know why he's wheeling off like that. He knows. Look at this. He knows. Come on. He knows. He knows.
Glenn
Why
Murray's
is he
controlled it with his hand and then had the ball in the back of the net. Wheels away.
He knows.
We suspect with the rule in place.
His hand, look, his hand, mate.
To be disallowed.
Come on, man.
Brighton say chest, West Ham say hand. What does Carlton Cole say?
Hands.
Is that because you played for West Ham?
Nah, this geezer's playing a different sport.
It does look like it's sort of his hand.
Look, it's rolling. It's rolling. I just can't believe he's ran away like that and wheeled off. He knows what's happened.
It's quite tight.
So they're checking the disallowed goal. Doogie, is it a clear and obvious error, though?
I don't think it's clear and obvious. I think it has touched his hand. Maybe
a lot of time on this.
I think it's quite tight.
It's in the box.
They're still looking at this, but it's a long time for an instant that touches the hand. That should be they're taking a lot of time.
That angle doesn't look.
It looks like it touches his chest, then rolls onto his hand, but it is too tight. I don't know.
Disallowed goal.
They're checking the disallowed goal.
How long is this going to take?
They haven't come to a conclusion yet.
Come on, it's handball, man. Come on. Let's get going.
Don't forget, it has to be a clear and obvious error for the ref to overturn it. They are still looking at a VAR. It would be the equalising goal. The ref is coming to his decision.
What's that then?
Goal!
Goal!
And the goal stands, Carlton Cole. The away end is erupting. It's 3-3. Goal for Glenn Murray. Colin, you are not happy. You are adamant that hit his hand and it should be disallowed. It hasn't been disallowed. Penny, for your thoughts.
I don't know what's going on. How that's... Let's have a look.
Oh, I don't think it has.
He's moved it away, isn't it?
It's very, very tough from that angle to see whether it's hit his hand or his arm.
Let's get him in the shot then.
Glenn Murray wheeled away, celebrated straight away. It went to VAR. They took a long time over it.
It must have been a goal because the way he wheeled off celebrating, like...
If you were Glenn Murray, Carlton, you'd...
If I had a handball, I wouldn't wheel off.
Look at David Moyes, Carlton. He's not happy on the touchline. He knows this is a big game.
Because this is just nonsense what we've done here.
Would you be claiming that as a striker?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, of course I would. But I'm just saying, like... How have we got into this position here?
So just to confirm the scores at West Ham, so many goals. West Ham, Issa Diop after 30, Robert Snodgrass 45. Sorry, they went into a 2-goal lead.
Yes!
Ogbono with the goal back, an own goal back, so say for Brighton, 2-1. Then Snodgrass put him in a 3-1 lead, Pascal Gross, and then Glenn Murray makes it 3-3 at West Ham, Carlton. It was all plain sailing, 2-goal lead. Now it's 3-3 with just 10 minutes remaining. Do you fear for West Ham in this game?
Yeah, of course I do. This is like, I don't know how we've done this. Like, how has it got to the... Look, they're in again.
Brighton are in again. Oh, good save.
Just things are just going... What? Why do... We was in the ascendance.
Yeah.
We was doing our thing. I don't understand how...
And it's 2-0. I mean, you've seen more than I, but it looked quite comfortable for West Ham.
It was comfortable. Now, Antonio's come off. We ain't got no legs going the other way. This would be a great time.
What other options have they got? Just give us...
This would be a great time if Bowden was on the bench. He would just run that way and it would be fine. But he's not eligible to play, is he? Today. So,
free kicks for Brighton as well.
All the momentum with Brighton as well.
Oh, great save.
I know, it's going to Will Brazier.
Yeah, Ender Stevens in the box, outside of his left boot. Gaeta makes up for it, and he makes a fantastic save. It's still Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1.
Yeah, so Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 1 as things stand. Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1. Another big win, that'll be for Sheffield United. Liverpool in cruise control after a very good first half from Southampton. That is 3-0. No goals at St James's Park. Newcastle 0, Norwich 0. Watford 2, Everton 2. And it's West Ham, probably the game of the day so far. West Ham 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 3. And Brighton will go to Carlton Cole because Brighton have a free kick in a dangerous position, Carlton.
Listen, all I care about right now is just not losing this game because it's got to the point where it looks like we've turned negative instead of going forward. And once we took off Antonio, we've just got no hope going forward now.
You said that a few times. Big turning point, wrong decision for you. Or can you understand it?
I can understand it because I can understand it because it's 3-1. But I think that's the time we've got to still go and kill. Yeah, we've got to still because we're
at the moment. You said earlier, Cole, he's been struggling with injuries, so maybe that was enough for him. Antonio.
He has been struggling with injuries, but in a game like this, when it's so important, would need to keep the pressure going on that way because it takes the pressure off our back four, who are not confident at the moment.
Yeah, not won any of the last 5 games in all competitions. West Ham, they've lost 4 of those. 8 points worse off than at this stage last season. This is a stat that West Ham fans won't like the sound of. Lost the most points from winning positions this season, 17 points from winning positions. And I hate to remind them, but they were 2 goals in the ascendancy in this game as well, so they could be losing more points from winning positions. They've also got the joint worst home record in the Premier League with Southampton, won only 1 of the last 9 Premier League games at the London Stadium. It is a big last 7 minutes for West Ham United in this game as Brighton on the attack once again. Chance for Brighton.
Side netting.
It's hit the side netting. Someone somewhere in the ground would have thought that had gone in. Maybe it's the side netting.
Can I leave? Can I?
Producer Phil says no.
I just don't know what's going on here. Like, they're playing with so much confidence. They're playing like their home team.
Brighton look good in the last 10, don't they? Look very strong in the last 10.
They've given them too much confidence.
We're putting that as well. We're talking about West Ham.
We've got Lanzini coming in now.
Yeah, so he's coming off. Snodgrass coming off. You're surprised at that?
Snodgrass has done his part. He scored 2 goals, Geese. Like, he's done well. Now we've got Lanzini.
So why is Lanzini off?
No, Lanzini's doing well.
Yeah.
Lanzini's a good player. He's not doing well at the moment, but he's a good player. and hopefully he can change this game because we need something.
Suchek off.
Also, Brighton, we spoke about West Ham's lack of wins recently, but Brighton also without a win in 5 games in all comps, so a few draws for them. But won 8 points on their travel, and only Norwich have picked up fewer on the road. So Brighton have been bad away, and West Ham have been not great at home. And at the minute,
it's going to be
shared.
Now let's see the characters in the team now.
Go on, Doogie.
Massive. Guys, we've got a question in from Black Cats for Life, a fellow Sunderland fan. Good choice. They want to know, obviously we saw Kepa be dropped to the bench earlier today, and they want to know, what's it like being unexpectedly dropped? If you think you're going to start, if you think you're going to start and then you get dropped last minute, how does that mentally affect you as a player?
Yeah, it does affect you definitely, but you've got to be a professional, a model pro. You've got to make sure that you're going to show disappointment. You're only human beings, we're not robots. But you've got to at least make sure that your teammate's okay, because at the end of the day, you're still in it to win it, and it's the manager's decision, and you have to respect that. But you can't throw a strop, and a load of players do throw a strop, but then it's up to the captain to get around him and try and uplift him, because he could be the changer, he could be on the bench, come on and score. And that's probably what, for that game, that was needed. So hopefully these things happen. Kepa will get back and he'll be fine. He just needs to have a day off.
Yeah. I think Lampard probably just wanted to take a bit of the sting out of the situation as well. There's been quite a few people talking about how comparatively poor he has been compared to last year, so maybe he was just bringing him out at the firing line.
Do you think that takes the sting out of it though, or magnifies it because he's not playing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I was just watching the coverage, and a lot of cutaways of Kepa, like it was a big story developing, even though it was only 1 game.
Yeah, I mean, well, his save percentage is the lowest in the Premier League this year by quite a distance. Yeah. And I think he's conceded like 45% of the shots on target he's faced in the Champions League, so he's not played well by his good standards. I think he is a good keeper, but it just needs
it's only so long
readjust.
that Frank can stick with him. He's done well by him so far. Yeah. So you can't tell me he's not stuck by him. He's done well. Yeah. So it might just be the time to just change it and then give someone else a chance.
And Caballero is a top keeper as well.
Exactly.
All chances Sheffield United just wide, half chance, I say. We've got to talk about Sheffield United. What a season having. 33 points, best record at this stage of the top flight season since 1974-75. Conceded 23 goals, Sheffield United. This is a newly promoted team, bearing in mind. Only Liverpool have conceded fewer goals than Sheffield United this season. Conceded 12 away goals as well. Again, only Liverpool have conceded fewer. And they're 1-0 up. Another clean sheet.
I think they've got that solid sort of back three, almost a back five with the wing backs as well, and they've kept that core DNA up from the Championship, and it's surprised a lot of teams. They've not been able to change their system for it, and then if it does get bad and they do get past that back five, you've got Dean Henderson making some unbelievable saves behind that, and even getting himself in the running for maybe an England call-up.
Definitely, I think he's definitely going to be one of those keepers that travels for England. Whether or not he'll start will remain to be seen. Doogie, we're in the last few minutes of any other quick questions?
Yeah, we've got another question in from Elliot the Toad. I'm not making these up. Wants to know, obviously, good performance from Liverpool in the end today. Got the job done by the looks of things. Do we think Liverpool will go unbeaten in the Premier League for the whole of the season? There's only 13 games left after this one. Could it happen?
It could. I think it's a tough ask. I think you can see a lot of teams can beat anybody on their day, other than obviously Liverpool are flying, but maybe one day they change their team, that's when it might happen, but there's a great chance they could go unbeaten, and what a fantastic achievement if they can.
I mean, I think they're only 3 wins away from the Premier League win in a row record now.
Maybe attack again. Tell you what, that is. He knows what he's doing there with that foul.
Proper foul.
Yeah, Stevens knows what he's doing there, pulled him back. Can't I hate to say it, but every time I look at West Ham, it's all Brighton, isn't it?
Look, everyone, they're just all first to the ball. Look, just there's no. It's like we're actually.
Oh, strong challenge. That'll be a free kick, and
you just don't do it there. I'd rather see that up more further up near the halfway line. I don't want to see that on the edge of our box. It's just
in the 89th minute, 3-3. This will be a real hammer blow. Excuse the pun. If West Ham do concede here, and that is a strong challenge, isn't it?
Never apologise for a pun.
No, thank you, Will. I think Obama has been booked for that as well. Not the place you want to give that free kick away, though, is it?
Here come the Villa.
Got to use common sense here, man. You know what I mean? But they're looking like
Carlton, I think this is directed at you. Obviously, we saw Souček join for West Ham, but would you have made any other changes in the transfer window?
Chance for Liverpool.
Goal!
Another goal.
4-0.
Paul, Mo Salah again. Man of the match for you, this man.
Salah
He has
hat-trick now.
every time.
I don't know if he had scored that. It looks like a little deflection, but he was there at the right time.
Salah double, no.
But just that quick attack, we said it.
Oh, what a big save from Fabianski to keep West Ham in it. Come to you in a minute, Carlton, when we see a replay of this Fabianski save, because that could be a huge save for West Ham, not just this game, but for the season as well. Paul, here's a replay of the Liverpool goal.
I think he starts here, Salah.
Talk us through it, mate.
He's picked up on the halfway line.
Definitely onside.
Yeah. Plays in Firmino.
Oh, it's a bit of a deflection.
I don't really know what it is, but it's in the back of the net and much deserved.
4-0.
Yeah, interesting to see if that gets given to Salah. Game at 2 halves, that. Southampton looked good in the first half.
Oh, he's flicked it, I think.
Has he flicked it?
I think he's flicked that in.
I think it might have gone down for Salah. Carlton, let's just talk through this huge save we've just seen from Fabianski.
Yeah, Fabianski comes out with, obviously, the free kick that was given away from Ogbonna. There was no need for it, to be honest. It's just stupidity for me. But it's happened. I don't know who took it. Do you know the person that took it for Brighton?
I don't know. Was
Solly March?
Was it Solly March?
Yeah. It was Solly March. But what it is, Fabianski's just like, that square is indispensable to our squad, because when he's playing, he can pull out saves like that, flies across the goal, and.
It could have won West Ham a point, that.
Exactly.
90th minute, that free kick.
And we should not be in this position, may I stress again. But we find ourselves in this position, and this is going to be like a loss to us.
You think?
Yeah, this is like a loss.
Yeah, after all that.
Moise Keane! Ball in the back post, Walcott! Goal!
Big goal at Vicarage Road!
10 minutes!
Walcott! Will Brazier!
Smash and grab. Theo Walcott has done it. Richarlison and the Richarlison derby down the left-hand side. Works the ball across. Moise Keane, you think he's going to shoot. He doesn't. He lays it off for Theo Walcott. And it's a tighter angle, but he should score and does score. And let's remember they've got 10 men. And what a huge result that is down at the bottom. Watford 2-0 up, 3-2 down.
Yeah, big win that could be for Everton. Don't forget that Watford were 2-0 up in this. Messina and Robert Pereira. And then Mina scoring 2 goals in additional time in the first half, and now late on in the second half, in additional time again. All their goals have been in time added on in the first or second half. Theo Walcott scores what probably looks like a match-winning goal, 2-0 down to 3-2 up. And recently we saw Everton blow a 2-goal lead themselves to Newcastle with 2 goals in additional time in that one, and now it's gone the other way.
Yeah.
Swings and roundabouts, full circles, can't think of another pun. But there it is, Walcott, ball in the back of the net, he simply can't miss, and Watford look devastated with that. That's going to be a big win. We'll quickly just round up what's happening in the other games, because there's a big moment in the Bournemouth game as well. This could be a big win if things stay as they are.
Bournemouth winning, obviously that puts Villa in trouble, but they'll be pleased because Watford are losing, but Bournemouth down to 10 men, it's 2-1. There's 4 minutes of injury time. I think we've got about 2 minutes left of that. Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, it's still 1-0 Sheffield United. They've got a corner. Ball beats the first man. Was that a hand? No, definitely not.
It's a very entertaining game at the Vitality Stadium. It's end-to-end every time we cross it. As you say, 2-1 up, Bournemouth, but they are down to 10 men.
Yes.
Will we see late drama? We saw late drama on the Football Social with Villa recently.
God, how have they not scored here? Callum
wow.
That Fraser in the middle.
Ryan Fraser, if his legs were half an inch bigger.
I was going to get Carlton's view on that, because as a former striker, he would not be happy with that. But you are just glued to the West Ham game. I can't get your eyes off it, Carlton. All about West Ham right now for you.
The boys look tired. We've had a strenuous week as well. Game against game Saturday, then we had a game Liverpool midweek, then today's it's a stretch too far, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
4-0.
But really hard game, and the boys are really, you can see they're straining now. Yeah, they're straining.
Full time at Anfield, the full time whistles goes 0-0 for large parts of the game, and then Liverpool. What a second half! 4 goals. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jordan Henderson and Mo Salah with 2. Sees Liverpool wrap up another 3 points. Surely they've got one hand on the title. Paul, how impressed were you with your former club in that second half?
Yeah, I think once they scored their first goal, it looked all Liverpool. To be fair, Southampton had a couple of half chances. Maybe if they took one, it could have been different. But Liverpool so strong and quick.
Game, set, match, Bournemouth.
And full-time whistle as well at Bournemouth. That is a big, big win for Bournemouth. Battle at the bottom of the table. It's finished 2-1 against Aston Villa. Philip Billing and Nathan Ake in the first half, 2-0. Samatta on his Premier League debut for Aston Villa. These are the full-time scenes.
Blow up,
huge win.
Blow up.
Oh, it's a big chance for Brighton. Wow, a chance to nick it at the death over the bar. Carl, we're going to come to you in a minute. But a big, big win for Bournemouth. And that could have been a big goal for Brighton. Should this have been a goal for them? Should he score it?
Yeah, I think you should at least get that on target.
On target, yeah.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying, like, once we had Antonio come off, Snodgrass is off now. We just got nothing going forward at the moment. Lanzini, I need to see more of him. Like, when he comes on, I need to see more spirit.
But he's got talent there, hasn't he?
He's got talent, but he's just not come back the same, and it's been a massive loss for us.
Yeah, Haller's looked really isolated in the second half.
Yeah, he's really isolated. But as I said, Bowden, when Bowden comes in now, he's going to give him that spark, I think, and he's going to help hold up the ball and then lay it off and get in the box, and Bowden's going to be doing all...
It's end-to-end. It is in the 96th minute at West Ham.
Yeah.
What a game we've witnessed. 6-goal thrill. Robert Snodgrass with 2 for West Ham. Brighton, Ogbonna with an own goal, Pascal Gross and Glenn Murray with a VAR review that took a while. It was given. It's finished 3-3. Fair result, is it? We'll stay on these pictures because it was the game of the day without doubt. Fair result, that, do you think?
If you're neutral, yes. If you're a neutral fan, you'd say it's a fair game because they had their fair amount of chances. We had a lot of chances. Yeah. And it was just down to the defending at the end of it. Our defending was shocking. We shot ourselves in the foot with the second goal, and then...
Interesting look at the body language of the two. Brighton,
they're happy with it.
West Ham look like they've really dropped 2 points there. Obviously the same because they did have the lead, but then Brighton had the better of the last 10. But it looks like West Ham are the unhappier of the two sides.
They would be.
And we saw some fans leave early as well. It didn't look like fans were particularly happy with that.
They do that anyway when we're winning too. Just trying to beat the traffic, mate.
I can't give you that traffic around the ground.
But no, listen. At the end of the day, we didn't lose, so when we played well in the first half, I'd say Snodgrass, some great sparks in Snodgrass, Antonio playing. So now we just need these boys to repeat that, and then add the new signings, and then hopefully. From Brighton, they come out and they've done really well, to be honest, and they could have got a couple of goals before.
Yeah, they had the last 10 minutes. And David Moyes still not happy with that VAR call. Having a conversation with the referee, and the full-time whistle has gone at Selhurst Park, and this is another big win. Sheffield United fans, wow, talk to us on the stream, get your comments in, because what a season you are having. Another clean sheet, another 3 points. It is Crystal Palace 0, Sheffield United 1. Probably the most bizarre goal of the day. Gaeta, own goal, catching across, dropping it into the back of the net, and that is the only goal of the day. Player that has been informed, but it is a pretty bad error, one that he won't want to see again. But it's given Sheffield United all 3 points.
Everton.
Big win. And the full-time whistle has gone at St James's Park. Will, you've covered 4 games brilliantly today, but I think you've said about 4 words on this fixture. Yeah. You finished 0-0. Anything of note to say?
4 words for this one. Thank God it's over.
Tim Pukki looks devastated with that.
Yeah, Norwich played really well in that game, actually. Had quite a few chances.
Yeah.
Dubravka, very good.
On top, weren't they?
Yeah.
Bruce there, having a conversation. The points do get shared at St James's Park. Norwich fan, we did say needed a win more than anyone really because they are at the bottom of the table, but it's a point which is better than no point. So full time at Newcastle.
Get in there.
And our final 3 o'clock has just ended. It is full time at Watford. And that one has finished. Watford 2, Everton 3. And just to reiterate, Watford 2-0 up. Messina and Pereira. And then Yerry Mina with 2 goals in time added on in the first half. Made it 2-2 at the break. It stayed 2-2 at the break. And then Theo Walcott, in time added on, at the end of the second half, takes all 3 points for Everton. And look at what it means to these fans. Carlton, the business end of the table where you see it really starts to take its toll for fans at the wrong end of the season, doesn't it? Watford fans look devastated there.
Yeah, they would be devastated. It's basically like they've been robbed, because they actually did play some good football. But when you look at, it's all that about the result at the end of the day, and Everton's travelled a long way to come down as well. The fans have, and they've produced a last-minute winner, Walcott as well.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him because he's not had the best of times up there, but he's come in and he's done really well today, and he'll take a lot of happiness out of that.
Yeah, OK, Dougie, let's go to see what are people saying. Have we got happy Liverpool fans?
Yeah,
Everton fans
as well. A lot of happy Liverpool fans, as usual. There's quite a few happy Newcastle fans. Despite that 0-0, it sees them going to the top 10. West Ham and Watford have dropped into the relegation zone with those late results. But a lot of people randomly are kind of asking, who do you think will win the Golden Boot? Obviously, we've seen Vardy go on a little bit of a dry patch recently. Who do you guys think will get it?
I always said Vardy, so I know he'll come back strong. He'll get like a hat-trick soon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm still going with Vardy, to be honest.
Paul?
I like to say Vards because obviously I played with him and I know what he's about, but I think Aguero, I think he'll shade it.
Fair.
Vardy's 17, Aguero's 16, so not a lot in it. Mo Salah got a few today as well. We know Rashford's out for a long time, Kane's out for a long time, so it'll be interesting to see who does nick that. Carlton, head in your hands when Dougie revealed West Ham in the relegation zone. We know that their fixtures are coming up. We'll look at the table in a sec. It's a pretty crazy game, that. I know that you're just looking at the Ogbonna own goal. Does that sort of sum up West Ham's day, that own goal?
No, because that was just against the run of play.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And then going towards like the end of the game when the nerves start to kick in and we haven't got that 2-goal cushion, then that's when we kind of messed up and everyone started to panic. And that's where, obviously, that's when you saw Diop with the backwards header and it's just calamities after calamities. And hopefully now we can address that, and then, as I said, with the new signings and Antonio back, we can do better.
We're just looking at Glenn Murray smiling in his post-match, and we just see him doing
Lucky
this
man.
to say it hit there, not there, because they're asking him if he thought it was a handball or not. It doesn't matter as far as Glenn Murray's concerned, because the goal did stand and it earned Brighton a point. Let's have a reminder of how our group bet unfolded here on the Football Social. So here we go. Right, Will Brazier said home win, Bournemouth against Villa. Is correct. 1-0. Paul Konchesky went home win. Correct. We're still up for the Sky Bet. 4-0. Phil went home win. 0-0. Dougie, interestingly, did go for home win. Watford was on course to that with 2-0, but then Everton won.
Sorry, lads.
3-2, so that didn't come in. And Carlton, you did go for home win, didn't come in because West Ham finished 3-3. Interestingly enough, you could have got odds for 105-1 at the time. But it doesn't matter because it didn't come in. Let's have a look at what all of those results mean for the table. Top of the table first, Paul, very quick word on your former club, Liverpool. I mean, we're just running out of words to say about them. Phenomenal once again.
Unbelievable. I think they're quite light-headed. They take each game as it comes, and it's just proving it. They're just going to run away with it, and I think someone asked earlier about the Champions League, so it could be time for them to concentrate on the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm just doing my maths, but I think that's a 22-point lead they've got there. But Man City have a game in hand. But I mean, at this stage of the season, unbelievable. Don't forget, they've only dropped 2 points. Man City in second. Leicester and Chelsea in the early kick-off fought out a 2-2 draw, so they retain the Champions League places as things stand. Don't forget, a lot of teams up there playing tomorrow. Man United, Tottenham, Wolves, all playing tomorrow. Spurs have got City, of course. Man United play tonight. And, of course, Burnley play Arsenal. So, interesting how that changes tomorrow. Let's have a look at the bottom half of the table. Norwich, Watford and Carlton, West Ham United slipping into the bottom three.
It's just disappointing to see that, especially after today's performance. It was going so swimmingly. And then look at us now. It's just like... It's depressing. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's tight there, Carlton. Though. Look, Watford 23,
it's tight,
West Ham 24, Villa 24, Bournemouth 26.
Look at our run of games.
Brighton
That's 26. The problem. Our run of games. That's the problem. Like right now, it looks okay. We could probably get out of it. But then you look at the run of games we have. It's a hard ask not to concede. It's a tough ask, isn't it?
Yeah, so, the run of games. It's not great, is it? We've spoken earlier on in the show about who they've got. Just to reiterate, who West Ham do play next. It is Man City away, followed by Liverpool away, followed by Southampton at home, followed by Arsenal away. So it's
4 tough games.
Yeah, and of course, Paul, we've spoken with you about your former club, Liverpool, but of course you coach at West Ham, also at West Ham as well. So sad for you watching West Ham today. Do you fear for them a bit as well this season?
I do, yeah. You just mentioned them 4 runner games, and you look at them and they're tough asks. Yeah. Every game's tough, but you're playing two at the top. Southampton and Arsenal, they're all tough games. Southampton have gone and put a good performance in at Anfield today for the first 60 minutes, so they're obviously on the up. And so that game for West Ham is not an easy game, so I don't know when the next easy game's coming for them.
No. OK, we'll just wrap up. Your games, you saw 4 games, standout players, standout moments in your 4 games?
Well, I do love a stink and a gaff, and Gaeta absolutely carrying the ball into his own goal will live long in the memories. If they still do those DVDs, he'll be on the front cover of that one.
DVDs, yeah.
DVDs.
Maybe a Blu-ray. But unbelievable comeback as well from Everton. 2 goals in injury time. Like you said, Smith, they had it done to them against Newcastle, but they did it at half-time, and then down to 10 men, and they scored the winner with Theo Walcott. What a game that was. Yeah,
and you said the Watford-Everton was a game. Bournemouth-Villa looked like a very entertaining game. A lot going on at Bournemouth-Villa.
Unfortunate for Villa, obviously, losing today, which sees them just above the relegation zone. But, they did lose 2-1 today, so that's a real shame for them. But they've got the League Cup final, so...
Newcastle, Norwich, just seeing a few replays there. Was that the big moment? We saw Pukki look devastated at the end of the game. Would it be that chance that's on his mind that he had?
It was that one as well, and he had a good effort in the first half. The Bravka kept them in it in the first half as well. Newcastle didn't really create too much, but I think while it's 0-0, like Norwich are a very, very good side, so they could have maybe nicked the 3 points here, but alas, it's 0-0.
Yeah, Crystal Palace, a big win for Sheffield United, as you alluded to earlier. You spoke about the Palace side of things, but Sheffield United this season, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I think there was quite a few changes today. Obviously, the new lad, Sander Berg, came in. Billy Sharp started up front as well, who was rumoured to leave in January. But it just shows how much that squad's together and how much... Chris Wilder's got the team right under him, really. I think I was worried in January if they brought too many players in, it could upset that harmony, but they've just kept on going, haven't they?
Carlton, Sheffield United currently 5th in the Premier League.
Wow.
5 points behind Chelsea in 4th. Could we be looking at a miracle story of them finishing in European places in the top 6 or even possibly the top 4?
Yeah, of course. Leicester won the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So anything's possible in this league, and that's why it's such a great league. Obviously, Sheffield, everyone writ them off at the start of the season, but this season, Wilder's got them playing some great stuff. They've got a sense of unity. You can see they're enjoying their football. They're going away to places and getting results. So anything's possible. They could be playing Champions League. You never know.
And you look at the stats as well. They haven't scored that many goals. 26 goals. Compare that to Man United below them, 36. Tottenham below them scored 38. Wolves 35, Everton 31. So they're not scoring loads, but conceding only 23 goals. Only Liverpool have conceded fewer goals than them, which the way that they play at the back, quite a unique formation as well. Just very well set up, Sheffield United, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think they're probably one of the hardest working teams in the Premier League. I get that you need to do that when you come up from the Championship, but they've carried it on and they've carried their shape on. They all know what they're doing, and they all work hard for each other. And obviously for the manager, the manager's obviously got them playing to how he wants, and they've all stuck by it.
Yeah. Well, let's go through some of the, Doogie, even if they're not questions, but comments, what people are saying, reacting to the day's goals.
A lot of happy Liverpool fans just saying unbeaten, we're the best team in the world, etc., etc.
That's just your cousin.
It's just my cousin.
There's a question though from
Liverpool boxer shorts.
From I love Toffee, who's an Everton fan, and wants to say, how impressed have you been by the work Ancelotti's done at Everton so far? Obviously, they've had quite a turnaround, but it started by Ferguson and Ancelotti sort of carrying that on. Yeah,
I think Ancelotti is a great manager. You've seen his pedigree, everyone knows how good he is. So he's just actually got a good setup there now, and he's brought some of the. They had talent, but they're using the talent to their strengths. Like Moise Keane's playing well. Then you've got Theo Walcott coming off the bench or whatever he's doing and imposing a threat. So the whole team knows their roles in each aspect of their game now. So I'll be interested in to see what he brings in the summer as well, because that's going to be... Because he's got a big name, so he could bring in some big players, I would suggest.
Do you think they will spend big Everton in the summer?
I don't think they will, but they'll buy the right players that he thinks he needs for that squad.
Yeah, 15 major trophies during his managerial career. Also one of only 3 managers to win 3 European Cups / Champions League, Bob Paisley and Zinedine Zidane.
Zizou.
Which I think Zidane did it in consecutive years, didn't he?
He did indeed.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Any other questions, Doogie?
Yeah, why not? Blades for Life wants to know, who do you think is the key man at Sheffield United? We often talk about the team, but do you think there's a standout player in that side?
I'm thinking that it's a team effort, because their midfield is really good. All of their midfield work really hard for each other, and I think we looked at, was it on the King Budweiser
show? Yeah,
we was looking at a few of their players, and I thought
John Fleck we looked at, didn't we? Lundstrom. I think John Fleck's had a very good season.
Yeah, and I think Lundstrom definitely he was up there as well.
Lundstrom was up there statistically.
Yeah,
statistically. I know what you mean though, because it is, I think, a trait of them this season has been as they've been as a collective. Like how quickly when they lose the ball, when they get it back, and also, do you think, the way that they play at the back with the 3 and the 5 and the overlapping? Do you think that's almost because it's quite?
One of their 3 centre backs, they go overlapping, and it's hard to
pick up
when you're not used to that or what they're playing. It's hard to match that up, or you can't match that up.
Just on that though, they would do, like, with all the technology and all the footage we've got, they were doing this last year in the Championship.
Yeah, you're a Championship fan, of course.
Yeah, for a long time. But they were doing it. I remember watching Jack O'Connell getting up there, crossing it in the right back.
I think Premier League teams expect them to change to come to the Premier League.
Suit
them.
Yes.
Whereas
a bit of arrogance almost.
Wilder's just.
So you didn't study it. You didn't read, because we'd like before a game we'd study how another team plays.
Yeah.
And then you think, okay, we can combat that. But until you go out there and they're a well-drilled team as well, so they know it, every player knows exactly what they're doing.
I just think Wilder's sometimes he's done. He's kept with what got on there. So why change it?
I think if you're asking standout, actually, it'd probably be Chris Wilder.
The
way that he's drilled the team, actually, I think he's been brilliant. One more question, Douga, should we take?
Why not? Villa fans want to know: were you impressed? I mean, you guys didn't really get much chance to watch them in great detail, but Samatta, do we feel like he could step into Wesley's shoes? Obviously, that's a big loss this year. And how crucial is Grealish to their survival hopes?
I could talk on Grealish. I think Grealish is, for me, one of the best playmakers in the league at the moment. He's definitely got that thing about him where he can change a game really quickly, just out of magic. So he's definitely an important aspect of that team, and without him, they're not going to be in a position, well, even having a hope to staying up. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about Samatta. I've not seen him. I've not watched him play. But did you see him today? Was he?
Yeah, he's got the physical aspects of the game. I think he's definitely got a bit more. He definitely throws himself about more than I think Wesley did in those opening things. But I don't know. I've just heard from different people that I think technically he's not quite there yet, and I don't know if that's something you can bring up to speed when, especially in a relegation battle with 4 months left. I think that's very hard to get into play, isn't it? So tough time to come in, actually, isn't it? With a but then even then, if he can be the target man, like someone like yourself, Carlton, and bring in like Michel Trezeguet in against Leicester, El Ghazi, and obviously Grealish, if he can bring in them into play, then
he's doing his job.
The goals aren't. He's doing his job.
Jack Grealish, best ever scoring season, 9 goals.
Yeah, we've got a really good one. From Salim Kompan, who wants to know, when you guys were playing, what was the best impact you saw from a January signing? Is there anyone that came in and just instantly lifted the squad?
Yes. I've got one. So we're playing in the Championship. We're trying to get up at the first time of asking, so we've just been relegated. And we'd bought about 3 strikers. We bought Nicky Maynard in the summer, I think. We bought Sam Baldock as well. And then we bought Vazte from Barnsley, I think he was playing. And he was already on fire over there. But he transferred that same energy to us, and he just took off straight away, and I think he banged in about 12 goals, about 12 goals in 15 games or something like that. He was amazing. So he actually got us scoring goals regularly, and it helped me as well because it took a lot of pressure off me too. Wow. So he was definitely one of those ones that I say in the January window, that was a great piece of business.
What was he like to play alongside? Was he a good foil for you?
Yeah, because he'd take a lot of pressure because he'd keep the ball, so he was a really tricky player. And players never used to, defenders hated to play against him because you didn't know what he was going to do next, because I don't think he knew what he was going to do next. Do you know what I mean? So it was one of those ones where you just had to just jockey him or make sure, show him one way, but he'd do something totally outrageous and then create a goal.
Nice.
Paul?
When I was at Leicester, we bought Wes Morgan in January from Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
That's a great
one. It one. Be all right, isn't it?
It was, and he's ended up being obviously the club captain, and he's still there, won the Premier League, won the Championship, so it was a massive signing for us, and it's probably, Coley probably agreed, he's like a rock. You can't get round him.
Yeah.
He's
tough to play against Carlton,
you don't think he's quick, but
what's that Fantastic Four, the rock guy in that? That's him. Solid, he's a solid.
He knows what he's good at, and he
seems like a great leader.
Dealt with it, and he's done well. So fair play to him to keep going.
Two good ones there, that wasn't it? Yeah, two good instances of players that have made a difference in the January transfer window. Carlton, we can hear now from Robert Snodgrass. This is what he had to say after West Ham's draw.
2 goals for your club. You should be in a good mood, but I sense you're not.
Yeah, it's very hard to sort of come here and sort of be upbeat, but listen, the season hasn't decided on today. We've scored 3 goals at home. We've had a few mistakes that obviously we should clear the ball, or something, the decision, the VAR decision, that's we shouldn't be in that decision. Listen, we've got enough men in the park to see the game out. It's very disappointing getting a few goals, an assist, and sort of not being on the winning side. It's hard to take, but listen, just try to do my job for the team, and got to stick together, because there was some good performances, and I think in the sort of first half, I think there was only sort of one team that deserved to be 2 goal up, and they get a goal for a set piece, and it's as I say, it's disappointing. So listen, we've been in this situation before, and the fans were right behind us again. So it's disappointing, as I say, to speak to you, because I felt we'd done enough in the first half to go and see the game out, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, it would have been such a big win for you as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd have been a great one. They took us further away for the bottom end and looking further up, because I believe this team, with the squad of players we've got, are definitely good enough, and I think that the most important thing is you need to keep scoring goals. That gives you the best possible chance. We scored 3 today, and we get a point out of the game. So listen, must keep driving forward. Get too many games coming up to be feeling sorry for ourselves. So it's as I say, it's a hard one, but we've been here before, so we'll dust ourselves down, and we'll come back stronger.
Is it a mental thing, do you think, just sort of getting yourselves over the line when you should do?
I don't know what it is. If I did know, then obviously, hopefully, we wouldn't be in this sort of position where a 2-goal lead and sort of drawing the game. But this happens in sort of football. But as an individual point of view, I can only do as well as I possibly can. The start of the season, the first sort of 10-12 games, I only played 1 game, but the second part, I've tried to do everything I possibly can. The experienced lads to help the younger lads get through, and listen, this is where it's going to get us over the line, as you say, and try and get some big results on the board.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Robert Snodgrass there, clearly very disappointed. And Carlton, you just watching replays. All 3 of those goals, West Ham. I mean, they're all the goals that West Ham conceded are ones that they won't want to watch again.
You wouldn't want to watch that. There's just mistake after mistake after mistake, and no one wants to take ownership and clear the ball.
Yeah.
Put your laces through it. What happened to the old-fashioned just putting your laces through it and clear it into row Z?
Just get rid if in doubt.
Just get rid.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to start playing all nice and cute. And we're not in the position to be playing nice and cute. We're in the position where we just need to lever it and get it out of the way so that we don't concede goals like this. It's just naive. This is naivety.
Yeah, though. So the game does finish 3-3, and that is all we have time for on the show. Big thanks to our guest, Carlton. Thank you. Great debut on the show. Did you enjoy it?
What, did I enjoy it?
Enjoy the show.
The show was brilliant. Yeah.
Not West Ham.
I had to enjoy that. Like,
yeah, we can't guarantee the outcome of the games. Unfortunately,
I'm just a fan now. Do you know what I mean? So I get really passionate about these things.
Paul, mixed feelings for you. One of your ex-clubs, West Ham. You share Carlton's disappointment, but on the other side, Liverpool, big win for them.
Massive. I think that's seen them over the line now.
Yeah.
There's no stopping them, I don't think, going on that performance.
How many points is it?
22.
22, yeah.
I mean, it's like FIFA 20, isn't it? Like,
it's like a FIFA game. It's a big win for Liverpool. Big thanks to both of you coming on the show. Will, always a pleasure, as always, my friend. Doogie, great work on the socials. And we are back tomorrow. Loads of football socials coming at you thick and fast. Tottenham versus Man City watch-along. Two big former players on the show for that one as well. You'll have to tune in to find out who that'll be. 4 o'clock, Soccer M and Football Daily's YouTube channel. Big thank you from everyone here. All of our guests. Have a great weekend. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye. First goal of the game. Who's it gone to?
Vicarage Road, and it's Watford 0. Watford 1, Everton 0. What a way to start.
I mean, look at Tottenham. Spent how many strikers were they linked with? And,
yeah.
You know, linked with you nearly, weren't they? Everyone else was linked with.
I did offer my service. And I've done it on Sky Sports as well, but I still didn't get a phone call. You know what I mean?
Look at his body language.
Look at his crunched
Look
up
at that, Carlton. He knows he should have scored that.
Like he's not got a Yorkshire on his roast dinner and he's asked for one.
Come on, Carlton, stay with you.
Yes!
We're off. Goal of Bournemouth!
Get in! It's top billing! Phil Billing has scored for Bournemouth! 1-0 to them in this crucial crunch relegation battle.
Will, what else is going on at Watford there?
I don't know, I haven't been drinking, just to clarify, but I'm just in a Hornet, seductively wrapped around a drum, pretending to sing.
And the chance for West Ham, it's all gone. The football going. Paul, let's go to Anfield. Big goal for Liverpool!
It's still 2-0, Bournemouth are down to 10.
So Engels missed the chance.
Oh, he's been punched in the head by
So they won't be loving Engels instead then.
No, that's better. That's fantastic.
Thank you, Paul. Good to
think if he carries on, he'll notch a goal, but it's...
Big goal for West Ham! That man again! A lot of naughty...
Norwich are in, Pookie! Saved by the broadcaster line! Go back out! Kenny McLean, take your time!
And he's hit the side net.
What is he doing?
Chance for Brighton!
No!
Oh, it's a goal!
It's one of the worst bits of defending I've ever seen in Premier League history.
Ever.
Look at this.
That is remarkable. That will be on blooper DVDs for years
He's lucky
to
he's
come.
got a goal, Diop. Oh, I dragged him.